challenges of Georgia voters, there was no illegal voter intimidation. Attorney Michelle McClafferty says the coordinated effort did intimidate registered voters.
We had veterans, like ex-military, likening what they experienced in the challenge process to PTSD. We had young, optimistic voter who didn't show up again in the next election out of fear and intimidation for what happened to her in the challenge process.
The conservative group's founder says their tactics promote fair elections. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
It is 65 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says it's dry this morning, but more pop-up showers are in the forecast for later on today. The high will stick in the mid-70s. We start to get a lot warmer starting tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate, dependable forecast is coming up. Well, her legal fate still not known this morning, but charges have been dropped against a college student who was taken into ICE custody following a traffic stop in northwest Georgia. While Dalton police officers originally said Jimena Arias Cristobal made an improper turn and did not have a valid driver's license, Assistant Chief Chris Crossan says officers later admit they pulled over the wrong vehicle.
It's a very regrettable place that we are right here with the way this unfolded and the way it turned out.
Yeah, the college student has lived in the U.S. since she was just 4 years old. She remains in an ICE facility near Columbus where she faces deportation. It is a no-go for pickleball plans in Tucker. After months of debate, city officials decide against awarding a contract for new pickleball courts. They cite outdated bids and unresolved questions about the proposed contractor's license. City Council had been considering a $3 million contract for 6 dedicated pickleball courts and 6 other mixed-use courts, along with parking and stormwater improvements. But residents have raised serious concerns about the noise that comes along with the game. Watching today's expected vote in DeKalb County as the commission decides on a measure aimed at controlling pet overpopulation, create a litter registry requiring pet owners to report litters of puppies, kittens, and rabbits within 3 months of birth. Commissioner Michelle Long Spears supports the move.
We have been grappling with a shelter overpopulation problem for quite some time now.
Well, some commissioners had requested more time to look over that measure, which is meant to distinguish between responsible breeders and illegal operations. Ticket prices are dropping at the world's largest movie theater chain, at least at certain times.
If you're free to head to an AMC theater on Wednesdays, then you'll pay half price for a ticket. The chain says it will start rolling out the discounts July 9th. The half price deal is good all day and will be based on the cost of a normal adult evening ticket. The U.S. movie theater business has posted a steady decline over 2 decades as streaming has become more popular. Since 2002, the number of tickets sold has dropped by half. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
A California woman files a class action lawsuit against the parent company of Ziploc bags.
Linda Cheslow claims its microwave and freezer-safe bags release microplastics when they're microwaved or frozen. Then those microplastics are leached into consumers' food. She claims SC Johnson knows the bags are not safe or green, but they don't want consumers to know it.
Reporter Michael Wallace says the company has not commented so far. Microplastics have been linked to several health issues, including cancer and cognitive decline. It's 9:03. Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We'll start with triple team traffic and smile on Mark McKay.
Front all lanes are going to stay open. 285 westbound at Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. With this crash we've been following that had all lanes blocked. The Cal Fire Rescue now on the scene. They're in the right lane, and delays are going to take you back toward I-20. Choose to take I-20 into the city. You will see delays approaching the Glenwood Avenue exit 61 area, trying to get onto the downtown connector. Still loaded up on the connector northbound, leaving 166 Langford Parkway, rolling past I-20. And still plenty of brake lights to be found across the northern suburbs. Ashley Frasca.
Still taking 35 to 40 minutes out of Gwinnett County on 85 south between 316 and 285. Georgia 400 south filled up. The worst of that, though, between Haynesbridge and Holcomb Bridge, but slow before and after. And then 575 south finally looking better out of Cherokee County. 75 south waves of volume getting through Marietta, and still a red alert up in Adairsville. Bartow County 75 south has been shut down at Highway 140 Folsom Road. That is exit 306 northbound slow to use Highway 41. 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with pop-up showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. High 75. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with hit-or-miss rain showers and thunderstorms. High 81. Heating up on Thursday. Partly cloudy skies. High 87.
65 degrees in Ackworth, 66 in Lilburn, 65 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends, to what I am sure will be an historic edition of the Mark Arum Show. First, let me get it out of the way. I always forget to mention 10:18-ish. I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz, another chance for you to win $1,000. We're going to be all over the globe. We're going to go up to New York City, the Diddy trial. Oh, the Diddy trial's underway. Peter Harlambous was in the courtroom yesterday. He'll be in the courtroom today. He'll get us caught up to date on that. Steve Dorsey from the International Red Cross is going to join us. The International Red Cross, instrumental in getting that Hamas hostage, the American citizen released yesterday, Idan Alexander. We're going to talk to Steve Dorsey from the International Red Cross. Karen Travers from ABC is traveling with the president in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
As you know, we have the biggest business leaders in the world here. They're going to walk away with a lot of checks for a lot of things that you're going to provide. And in the United States, it's probably 2 million jobs that we're talking about.
So President Trump is in Saudi Arabia now. His first real big international journey as president in his second term. Karen Travers is going to join us from Riyadh and see what's on the agenda for the president there as he hits a couple of Middle East countries. And not one, but two amazing comedians joining us on the show today. In 30 minutes, the legend that is George Wallace is going to be live in studio. And a little bit later on, we're going to talk to Heather McMahon. She's a local Atlanta woman who has risen to comedic heights. Fantastic stuff. She's going to be at Fox Theater this weekend, so we're going to talk to her. So much to talk about today. I want to start, though, with a story. I saw the headline on AJC.com, and I said, what? This is like someone hacked the AJC website because I didn't know this was a thing. Deborah, the headline, let me see if I can get it for you here. Human composting is a thing. It'll soon be legal in Georgia. Now, are you guys familiar with compost piles? Have you did?
Yeah.
My best friend growing up, EJ, his parents were like big time hippies. They were great. Bill and Cindy John were their names, and they had a compost pile in the backyard. So everything that was, I guess, any organic material, orange peels, banana peels, leftover whatever, they would take to the back and put on this compost pile. And I never understood what the heck it was. And as I got older, I realized that composting is actually a thing, and people besides EJ's parents did it and do it. But, Deborah, what the heck is human composting?
Yeah, I think it's a little confusing, but do you ever wonder what's going to happen when you pass away? Like, do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? I know it's an uncomfortable thing to do, but it's something everyone has to deal with, right? But there's another option now in Georgia, and that's human composting, or terramation is another word for it. So basically what they do is they have your body once it's passed, and then they put microbes, organic matters, and it kind of speeds up the decomposition of the body. And at the end of it, your remains are this soil. So your family members or whoever takes it can use it to plant a garden, some trees, or they can even donate that to other conservation lands. And the Governor Kemp, he just signed a bill that makes that legal here in Georgia.
I'm so confused by this story. So, like EJ's parents, you put the body in the backyard and you sprinkle the decomposition dust on it, and like, do you take it to a facility? Like,
yeah. It's almost like another type of cremation, right? So it's not like you're just sitting in someone's backyard waiting for the body to decompose. It's done at a facility, and it doesn't say how long it takes, so I'm not sure of the process overall. But once it's done, they'll ship you the remains, which is a bunch of soil.
So like potting soil. We should probably bring Frasca in on this.
Yeah, where's Ashley?
Host of Green and Growing. Is that a good thing? Would you want, Longoria, you're a gardener. Would you want your tomato crop to be grown in soil of human remains?
Well, maybe if it was a family member, I would assume. Maybe,
really?
Maybe.
Like,
I mean, if that was their wish to do that.
I don't know.
Well, people spread ashes. And
yeah, sure, but you're
in
not
the ground too.
You're not using them to grow a garden. You're not like, oh my God.
I've seen people sprinkle ashes like in their flower beds.
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not judging, but I'm not partaking. That's for sure.
You are judging.
Oh, Aunt Lily's cucumbers are delicious.
Yeah, because she has a little bit in her.
Yeah. Oh no. All right. That's. I thought the AJC got hacked, but and Governor Kemp's signing into law, so I guess it is a thing.
Bill, yeah.
But no, for the record, I don't compost Mark Arum when I leave this mortal coil. All right, thank you, Deborah. A wacky local story to start things off here. All right, during the show yesterday, we were monitoring what was going on at the White House. Big day yesterday at the White House. Joining us live is White House correspondent John Decker. He had a front row seat to what was going on yesterday. John, good morning, my friend.
Hey, good morning to you, Mark. Yeah, yesterday the president in the Roosevelt Room yesterday, taking some questions after signing an executive order just before he got on Air Force One for a week-long trip that he is taking to the Middle East. In fact, he's in Saudi Arabia as we speak. Saudi Arabia, one of 3 countries that he's visiting during the course of this trip. In addition, he'll be traveling to the United Arab Emirates and also Qatar. So what is going to come out of this week-long visit? The president hopes new announcements related to investments in America. That, I think, is something that seems like a reasonable expectation that we can hear happening over the course of this week that he'll be in the Middle East.
Interesting. His first major international trip in his second term.
That's true.
And we'll certainly monitor that. Yesterday in the White House, that one of the headlines was the executive order when it comes to prescription prices. Still questioning whether the president has the power to regulate what big pharma can charge for pharmaceuticals here in the United States. And we also heard from RFK Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary yesterday. Any big takeaways from that executive order?
Well, look, the president is focused on trying to level the playing field. He mentioned this idea that for certain prescription drugs, Americans pay more than for those same prescription drugs that citizens of other countries are paying, and that's what this executive order is aimed at fixing. Now, as you point out, this could be challenged by the pharmaceutical industry. In fact, that's exactly what happened in the president's first term, and the president ultimately lost that case, that civil case that was brought against the administration. So we'll see what comes out of that. Also, some other news coming out of the president's Roosevelt Room remarks, and that is that he potentially, he says, could travel to Turkey on Thursday. That's if his appearance would move along the peace process related to the war in Ukraine. I think that is unlikely if certainly President Putin of Russia is not in Turkey along with President Zelensky. And we still don't know whether Putin will travel to Turkey this week for those direct face-to-face talks with Zelensky.
Very interesting. I think I buried the headline. Of course, John, yesterday it was the Chinese trade deal that was announced.
It was.
The markets reacted positively. We'll monitor them again today. But I would assume that the president was claiming a big victory yesterday getting this deal done with China.
Oh, absolutely. But keep in mind, I think you could call it a truce, not a deal. And it's a 90-day truce, and no firm deal has been reached other than the idea that trade tariff rates have come down for both countries. For Chinese goods coming into the U.S., the tariff rate is now 30% as opposed to 145%. And for U.S. goods heading over to China, the tariff rate is now 10% as opposed to 125%. So both countries, as you can imagine, Mark, are claiming victory related to those 2 days of talks that took place in Geneva, Switzerland over the weekend.
Yeah, really, the rapid development of that caught me off guard. Final question for you, John. President Trump on this gifted plane from Qatar. Is this going to happen, or is there enough opposition where we might not see this become a thing?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I don't know whether it's going to happen. To me, it strikes me that this is a clear violation of what's known as the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution, and we'll see if the president can get past that, which I think is a pretty big barrier that prevents any official, including the president, from accepting gifts from a foreign government, and this clearly is a gift. That's the way the president has even described it, and he's also said that this gift would convey with him after he leaves the presidency. He said it would be a part of his presidential library. So it seems like it's a gift not even to the U.S. government. It's a gift to President Donald J. Trump, and that to me is problematic, and we already see bipartisan opposition to this idea of the president accepting this $400 million plane from the government of Qatar.
Yeah, certainly a story worth monitoring. White House correspondent John Decker. I guess a couple of relaxing days at the White House for you.
Yeah, well, look, when the president's out of town, it's a little calmer.
Yeah.
But obviously, being here in Washington, I still have to monitor what's happening overseas. 9 hours away, so it's not completely a carefree week. It's still pretty busy, but just not as busy as it normally is.
No doubt. As always, appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks, Mark. Bye-bye.
Right, there you go. White House correspondent John Decker. Speaking of the international travel, joining us from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ABC News correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, good morning. President Trump yesterday embarked on a 4-day tour of the Middle East. What's on the itinerary for the president?
The president is really focused on strengthening economic ties between the United States and these Gulf nations. The president has already touted the investment pledge that Saudi Arabia has made, $600 billion in the United States over the next 4 years. And as he has done before, has joked about how that should be actually $1 trillion, pushing the Crown Prince to up that total. We don't know details, though, of what that will look like. And I think that's something that maybe we'll get on this trip, a little bit more further commitment of what the Saudis will actually do with that money. The UAE, similar thing, committed to invest $1.4 trillion over the next decade. This is what the president wants to hear. This is not about, security or diplomatic takeaways from this trip like other presidents might do on a first foreign trip in their term. This is about trying to show that the United States is open for business and trying to strengthen economic cooperation with these wealthy countries.
First stop was Riyadh. How was the president received there?
A very lavish welcome by the Saudis. Air Force One was escorted into the airport by Saudi military fighter jets. He had a 21-gun salute as he walked down the steps of the plane, and the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, was there to greet him on a not red but lavender carpet. They've already had lunch. They had a coffee ceremony earlier, and he's going to have a big state dinner thrown for him tonight by the Crown Prince. So it's also, again, you look at what the events are. The president had a lunch today with business leaders from the region. Then he's going to give remarks focused on U.S.-Saudi economic investment and cooperation. Really, really such an emphasis on the economic ties.
Karen Travers from ABC joining us in Riyadh here on the Mark Arum Show. Other stops on the trip include Qatar and the UAE. Speaking of Qatar, has the president made any comments in the last 24 hours about the possibility of Qatar gifting him a plane?
He did yesterday in the White House before he left, and he very, very forcefully defended his decision, his plan to accept that. He said he would never be one to turn down that kind of offer. He said I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But he really insisted this was fine. It wasn't a gift to him. It was a gift to the Department of Defense. There is some pushback. Of course, Democrats are really raising the alarm that this violates the Constitution's ban on gifts from foreign heads of state and that there are security concerns about it. But there were even some Republicans who said, there could be security issues. And as one senator said, they better sweep that plane from front to back.
No doubt. The big headline in the region yesterday was the release of Idan Alexander, American prisoner held by Hamas. There were thoughts that the president might be able to meet Idan. Do you know if that is going to be able to be fit into the schedule?
He is not going to in person. They have said that he will not be traveling to meet the president. He's obviously has just gone through such a terrible ordeal, but the president was able to speak to him by phone, coordinated through his envoy, Steve Witkoff.
So I got to ask, Karen, you made this transatlantic flight on Air Force One. First off, direct flight, I'm assuming, from D.C. to Saudi Arabia?
No, we went through Germany. So we went through Frankfurt first. So it's quite a long trip to get here. But we got here and hit the ground running as soon as we arrived.
What's it like as a journalist on Air Force One? I've been told there is no Wi-Fi availability for journalists.
Yeah. Oh, I should note, I wasn't on Air Force One to get here. That was my colleagues from NPR drew that straw for their duty for pool. I flew commercial here through Germany. Air Force One stopped in the UK for a refueling stop because Air Force One can't make the whole trip here. But yes, there is no Wi-Fi on Air Force One. So in some ways, it's kind of delightful because you can just check out for a bit. In other ways, it's incredibly stressful because you don't know what you're landing to. And you cannot let your guard down because you never know when the president's going to come back and chat.
No doubt. Well, at least you get Sky Miles for, if you flew commercial. So there's a benefit.
That's true. There we go. That's good. Not on Air Force One, unfortunately.
Excellent. Karen, as always, thanks for your time. Have a safe trip.
Thanks. Have a great day.
President Trump expected to speak in about 25 minutes from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Karen Travers is there. We will monitor, of course, a big 4-day trip to the Mideast for President Trump. Details throughout the 4 days here on 95.5 WSB. Coming up in less than an hour, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. But first, let's check trouble on the South Side Perimeter. Live with the latest, Mike Shields.
And Mark watching a long-standing crash back in the right lane right now, 285 westbound, the Interloop at Boulder Crest Road, exit 51, slow as you leave I-20. Speaking of slow, if you're leaving Calhoun into Adairsville, trying to get into Bartow County on 75 southbound, Highway 140, exit 306, all lanes remain shut down due to a crash and crash investigation. Continue to use Highway 41. The support is brought to you by John Foy and Associates Personal Injury Law Firm. An injury can change your life. Give attorney John Foy the first shot and call for a free case evaluation. You deserve justice and help. Let them earn your trust in your business. Call John Foy or go to johnfoy.com. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my God, you saved my day.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Look, your house called. It wants a bath. Not just any bath either, a full-on pollen-blasting, grime-busting spa day from Wise Guys Pro Wash. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your next service. Just visit wiseguysprowash.com.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early, while it's still a simple repair, and before your car gets locked out, or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Protect your turf from termites. Call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Get used to this fella. Happy 75th birthday, Stevie Wonder. Deborah, I'm sure you knew this because you're the musical correspondent of the Mark Arum Show, but his real name isn't Stevie Wonder. It's Steveland Morris.
Yes.
Yeah, that was his birth name. Born 75 years ago today, May 13th, 1950. So DJ Longoria is going to be spinning all Stevie Wonder today. 75 years old. An amazing. I've never seen Stevie in concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would like to do that before you compost my body. I would like to see Stevie Wonder perform in concert. All right, Judd's got your news, weather, and traffic straight ahead. The markets are about to open. Dow futures have been mixed, but what a bang-up day yesterday on Wall Street. For the first time in a long time, you could log into your 401ks and IRAs with confidence. Hopefully that good news will continue. We'll monitor the markets. Coming up next half hour, comedian George Wallace, the legend, is going to join us live in studio. And don't forget, 10:18-ish. Yours truly is going to give you another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Another chance for you and $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Social media is active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
Very superstitious. Writings on the wall.
Whether you're driving your European car for sport or luxury, you need to get to know Wolf Pen Auto Repair in Roswell. This is Scott Slade. Even if your Porsche, BMW, Audi, Mercedes-Benz just needs an oil change, you'll get factory-trained, certified technicians who love European cars as much as you love yours without sky-high dealer pricing. Wolf Pen customers constantly come away saying, this is how it should be. To get to know you better, for a limited time, mention you heard about Wolf Pen on the radio and get a free second opinion on repairs. Just search Wolf Pen to get started.
Here at Massey, we've seen the damage termites can cause. That's why we've protected homes from termite damage for almost 100 years. Our termite protection program doesn't just protect your home from termites, it gives you peace of mind. That's why our termite protection guarantee covers your home and all the things in it. When we protect against termites, we protect families. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Storm season officially here, friends, and it wreaks havoc on your house and your roof. It's Mark Arum here. If you truly want peace of mind about your roof, and for many years to come, ask Dr. Roof about their lifetime warranty. Dr. Roof's warranty means they have your roof covered for the lifetime of your roof, and if anything comes up, Dr. Roof will take care of it. You never have to worry about a thing. They stand behind it since they've been in business for over 35 years. Now that is peace of mind. All the info online at drroof.com.
It only happens once a year. It's always fun. It's our signature Sign and Drive event. All you got to do is sign and drive with no money down and no payments for 90 days. Plus, at Beaver Toyota, you'll receive exclusive Beaver benefits with your new car. Benefits like no-charge oil changes and car washes. And yes, even complimentary loaner cars and a lifetime powertrain warranty. It's our annual Sign and Drive event. Now this is the way car buying should be. Only at Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story going over this morning's latest financial report, which shows the U.S. economy may be showing early effects of the tariff war the U.S. has entered with other trading partners.
The consumer price index fell 0.1% between February and March, but last month it rose 0.2. At the same time, though, the April to April figure has beaten the Wall Street consensus, rising 2.3%. More than half of last month's increase came in the housing category.
Now, correspondent Jim Ryan says it comes a day after the U.S. and China announced a 90-day pause on most of the retaliatory tariffs that have sent the world markets on a roller coaster ride over the last couple of months. Taking a look at Wall Street this morning is the bell ringing right now and got a mixed bag. Dow opens down about 150 points. S&P is up slightly. NASDAQ is up slightly as well. It is 66 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says more pop-up showers possible around the metro area later today. The high gets back into the mid-70s today. Could get well into the 80s as we head through the week. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. A vote expected today by the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners on an ordinance aimed at curbing pet overpopulation.
A new registry would require pet owners to report litters of puppies, kittens, and rabbits within 21 days and obtain permits for breeding and sales. DeKalb Deputy Attorney Laura Johnson outlines key details.
A limit of 1 litter per year. The ordinance also prohibits owners from allowing animals younger than a year old from having litters.
County officials say the ordinance will help reduce illegal breeding and ease overcrowding in shelters. DeKalb taxpayers are projected to spend over $11 million this year on animal care and control. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Maybe you're one of these angry drivers. EPA considers slamming the brakes on vehicle engines that automatically shut off at red lights. It says it's received so many complaints that it may end the mandatory regulations. Many annoyed drivers note that their air conditioning shuts off in the summertime when the engine stops running, but that move could actually cost drivers money with the shutoff feature, cutting fuel consumption by up to about 25%. Recruiting is apparently tougher than ever for air traffic controllers as high-profile travel delays and air safety lapses bring renewed attention to the country's air traffic control shortage.
Only about 10% of applicants are accepted into the training program, and a third of those who are accepted don't make the cut. The high-stress job can lead to burnout, and controllers who leave the profession early add to the problem.
Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti reports a couple perks to the job. A college degree is not necessary to become an air traffic controller, and the pay can actually run well into 6 figures. And Winder has an interesting set of bragging rights now. City apparently has the best tasting water in the state. City provided a water sample from the Highway 53 water treatment plant and beat 16 other utilities to win best tasting tap water in Georgia. It will now compete in the American Water Works Association's national competition. Who knew they had that? That's going to be in June in Denver, Colorado. It's 9:33. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. First, the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
And Judd, long-standing crash still in the right lane in DeKalb County. I-285 westbound, the interloop right before Boulder Crest Road exit 51. That has you bumper to bumper as you leave I-20. And still dealing with a red alert crash investigation as you leave Calhoun into Adairsville on 75 southbound before Highway 140 exit 306. Continue to use Highway 41 as an alternate. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies today, though pop-up showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening hours. High 75, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a few hit-or-miss rain showers. High 81, drying out on Thursday and heating up. Daytime high 87.
67 degrees in Cumming, 68 in Stockbridge, 66 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
The Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office identifies 57 sets of cremains.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
The massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
We've got it covered.
Atlanta jurors convict a former Customs and Border Protection officer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
It's an honor to be you, my friend, and you had.
Still to come, we'll monitor President Trump's trip to the Mideast. But coming up next on the Mark Arum Show, actor, comedian, legend George Wallace live in studio 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. at home, or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Just to give you a little insight on how my crazy mind works, I was reading an article that said there could be up to 100 yet to be discovered tribes in the Amazon jungle. 100 of them. Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my friends at Xfinity. So I was reading that. I was like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of that movie, Apocalypto. I haven't seen that movie in a while. I want to watch that movie. So what did I do? I picked up my remote, my Xfinity voice remote, and I just pressed the button and said, Apocalypto. Bam! Xfinity offered me all the ways I could watch that movie. I'll tell you what, my mind wanders, but it's always there and caught by my Xfinity voice remote. No matter what I want to watch, the Xfinity voice remote helps me get there without hunting and pecking. Could be Apocalypto, could be a sitcom from the 80s. Xfinity is always there when I need them, and they'll be there for you as well. Jump on board the Xfinity family. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or even better yet, go see the friendly faces at your Xfinity store near you today.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers, to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
9:37 on this very busy News Day Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up 10:18, another keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Chance for you to win $1,000 on 95.5 WSB. And again, happy 75th birthday, Stevie Wonder. All Stevie Wonder today on the Mark Arum Show. I have not seen Stevie Wonder in concert, but I'm sure our next guest has, comedian George Wallace in studio. You ever seen Stevie live?
I saw Stevie at the greatest show ever.
Where was that?
Ever. At the, right here in Atlanta. What's the name of the, State Farm Arena.
State Farm Arena.
Yeah, we cried, and some of the young kids, what everybody crying for? Stevie did a 2.5-hour show. It was awesome. Brought his daughter up on stage and people like that. Furthermore, I sit next to Stevie at church. I know Stevie.
What?
Yes, we go to Los Angeles, Church of God in Christ in Los Angeles. Stevie is very active in our church. He's now serving as an usher. We love some Stevie Wonder.
Now, this might be inappropriate, but what kind of Braille Bible? What's going on with?
No, he listens. He knows the Bible. He gets up, he sings, and everybody see him. And I've told the story many times, but he comes to church every Sunday 20 minutes late. And you know, when he comes in, that disturbs the services,
yeah,
right?
of course. Well,
so we were having lunch. We're having lunch one day. I said, Stevie, you got to stop coming in here every day 20 minutes late. And I said, and you don't need no front row seat, no way. You know, but he loved it. He wanted to come to Las Vegas and tell jokes on the stage. He is a comedian also.
That's amazing.
There's a lot of people that are comedians that you would never think. But Stevie loves to have fun and crack jokes and talk about driving and things. He loves to tell jokes.
That's amazing. I didn't know that you were church buddies. I guess I got. Let me first tell you that George is in town this weekend at Helium Comedy Club in Alpharetta, Friday and Saturday. We haven't spoke since Pope Leo the 14th.
This is true, huh?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And hey, out of Chicago, he's got to be a cool guy. So that's what I hear.
I mean, apparently, well, first of all, he speaks like 9 languages.
Yeah, I heard him when delivering his first speech. And
yeah.
He's good.
And apparently he's really fun, like has a great sense of humor. So
that's what we need.
Yeah, first American Pope.
Everybody needs a great sense of humor because when you stop laughing, you stop living.
Exactly.
It's important. It's in the Bible. Laughter is healing for the soul. If we all had comedians as presidents and prime ministers, oh, this would be a great world.
Are you about to announce a political campaign here on the Mark Arum Show?
The problem was, the problem with me is that people would vote for me.
And you'd have to do that job.
Because I would do things like we're almost like 200 years behind, dude. See, they talk a lot about China. Have you been to China?
No.
Man, they're light years ahead of us. They got bullet trains, you know. Now we're having problems at Newark Airport. Everything is slow getting in and out. That's where I came from this morning.
Oh, and how was it? Was it crazy up there?
Yeah, very late.
Yeah.
And but the bullet trains, you won't need the airplane to go to Miami because you can be down there in 2.5 hours.
I've taken those in Japan. They are
fantastic, right?
Oh my God, it's. But I made a huge faux pas. I mean, Japanese culture is very different.
Totally.
And I was on the bullet train, and I had my phone up, and I was watching a video without headphones. And apparently that is a big no-no. Like,
they should have thrown you off
almost
the
a
train.
jailable offense. And my wife's like, turn that down, turn that
But
down.
isn't that wonderful? If I were in charge of I'd start the system like Harry Truman started Interstate. Who started the
I think it was
Interstate system?
Eisenhower?
one of the two, yeah. But I think down 75, 85, there should be a train in the middle, in the median.
Just bullet trains everywhere.
Would you just stop your car right there and just get on the train and go to wherever you're going?
I've been I mean, they've been proposed the bullet trains from here to Savannah, here to Chattanooga, here to Charlotte, which is great because a 5-hour drive is just too long.
It is, and it's I think it's something. It's doable.
Yeah. All right, we're already Deborah. Start putting together Georgia's political platform. High-speed rail for everybody.
People that want to drink and drive, we're going to have a lane for you. Both directions.
They're going head on.
Yeah. So, and then you already know me about being president. The first law, executive order. First order. Everybody knows this about me. Chick-fil-A is going to be open on Sunday. I don't care what comes. Chick-fil-A is going to be open on Sunday.
Yeah, that would be a miracle. That would be a miracle.
You know what? If I owned a business, I would hire all of the employees from Chick-fil-A. I don't know where they get these people from. These are the nicest people.
I think that Popeyes is starting to poach the Chick-fil-A employees.
You got to be.
I'm serious.
You're crazy. Popeyes. That's the joke I do. You can get to Chick-fil-A at 10 o'clock and sorry, we're closed, and you can curse the guy out, and all he'll say is, "It's my pleasure."
Yeah, my pleasure.
But don't you try that at Popeyes. Popeyes will say, "Pull over in that number 2 spot. I'll be right out." Oh, there's some tough people.
But I went to Popeye. There's one right down the street from my house, so of course I'm going there with a lot of frequency now. And as you mentioned, Chick-fil-A says, "My pleasure," right? That's the
it's
slogan.
my pleasure.
And 3 times in a row, the person that hands me the drive-through order says, "God bless you." And I'm like,
really?
Oh, yeah, 3 in a row. I'm like, oh, they're stepping
They won't
up
be
their
that
game.
long. That's too nice. They'll be fired. They'll get mad pretty soon. They'll be cursing pretty soon. All the employees at Popeyes, they start off with, "God bless you. Thank you so much." Give them 3 weeks. Get the hell out of here. All the F word, everything. Get out of here. Don't ever come back here anymore. Get out of here.
George Wallace in studio. He's at the Helium Comedy Club in Alpharetta this Friday and Saturday. A little homecoming of sorts. I got to ask you this, George. We've spoken a number of times, but I've never really asked you. Back, in the 70s, 80s, early 90s, were you a member of the talk show circuit? Were you on Merv Griffin? Did you do those shows back in the day?
Hey! There's not a TV show I didn't do back in the day.
So you did do
Merv
those.
Griffin, even Dinah Shore, you name them, all the talk shows. I did everything. Tonight Show, whoever was out there, I did it. I did all of it, and I loved it, and I still do today.
Yeah. So, all right. So you did a Merv, and were you Johnny Carson Tonight Show?
Name a show, other show, Arsenio. I did Arsenio more than any
I remember seeing you on Arsenio.
I did Tonight Show. I did Tonight Show with Jay. I did it with Gary Shandling. I did it with Johnny. I did it with everybody.
Now, once you're established, right? That's the pressure's kind of off when you're going on the Tonight Show or Leno. But as an up and coming comic, what was your first big talk show appearance? And were you nervous knowing that a third of the country's watching this, and this is a make or break moment for me?
Back in the day, the third of the country was watching because there were only 3 networks.
Exactly.
ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Yeah.
So at 11 o'clock at night, I did my first Tonight Show on Thanksgiving Day. I was standing behind the curtain, and everything just left me. Had no idea, just blank.
Yeah.
And, of course, he did the joke on, "Ladies and gentlemen," it's kind of a little different, but here's George Wallace. And I walked out, and I had a great set, and it was really good. We had a lot of fun, and it was really good. And
what year was that? Do you remember?
1979.
Oh, my goodness.
1979. I did the show on a Thursday night, and Friday night I was in front of 17,000 people. That was the impact that the Tonight Show had back in the day.
Oh, absolutely. From 3 channels to 1,000 channels.
1,000 channels,
and podcasts and streaming. There's really no one, aside from the Mark Arum Show, there's no one venue where you have the entire country for a couple of minutes.
No. The young kids today, the new comedians, they don't particularly care about the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
So they got their own podcast, they do their own show, their own content, and they got 100 million views on their own.
Yeah.
They have more views than the Tonight Show, than any of the talk shows.
So do you think it's harder or easier then for a young comedian to break through in 2025 than it was in 1979.
It's always a challenge no matter what you do, but if
Yeah.
you want to do what you want to do, that's what you got to do. And you can't want to be a comedian. I got to be a comedian. It's when I knew I was a comedian when I was 6 years old. And that's what I'm doing for 49 years. And that's why I'm coming back to you got a brand new comedy club here. Most people don't know about this in Atlanta. Nicest club in Atlanta, up in Alpharetta. Is that where the rich people live?
Most of them.
Is that right? Well, all the rich people, if you're driving, do something different this weekend. Come over to Helium.
Helium Comedy Club, yeah.
Helium, I almost said Heathens. The same
That's a
thing,
different club.
Same different, yeah. And it's really nice and it's wide and spacious, not tight like the other clubs.
Yeah.
And you'll really get to enjoy yourself. And you never know who's going to walk in there with me. We're going to have some fun. Myra J. and J. Anthony Brown. It's a lot of fun when you come to a George Wallace show. You never know what. Jennifer Holliday has been out on the road with me. She might stop in. She lives here in Atlanta. But this is a great city. And some people never been to a comedy club at all. This is what you need to do. If you forgot to give your mama a Mother's Day gift, bring her out to the club. Bring the whole family out.
Absolutely.
We have 2 shows Friday and 2 shows Saturday.
And don't be like me and not have ever seen a Stevie Wonder show. Don't ever go your life without seeing a George Wallace show. There was a famous quote from Eddie Murphy as he was coming up, and he said the one thing you never wanted to follow George Wallace at a comedy show because it was something totally different, and you didn't want to be the guy that follows George Wallace.
He did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Chris Rock said that too. Yeah, and it's Chris Rock is a great friend of mine today. Eddie, Chris Rock, Chris Tucker. I know everybody, of
You know
course.
all
And
the
you know my
Chris's.
best friend. You know who he is, and
Yeah.
he's an idiot. I haven't
Jerome.
called him back this morning.
Mr. Jerome.
I call him Jerome. Jerry Seinfeld, yes. People don't know that I'm the real roommate for 13
From
years.
George, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm the real George for 13 years on Seinfeld. I'm his best man in his wedding, and as I've said many times, I'm the father of his kids.
Is it? Well, one of I think his son just graduated from Duke
Saturday
University.
from Duke, yeah.
That's
I should have been there. I
And
was
is he
working.
the only person that's allowed to call you Henry, or do other people call you Henry?
About 4 or 5 more people. Everybody in Atlanta calls me Henry that I grew up with here.
Okay.
I'm born and raised in Brookhaven. Did you know that?
Yeah, you did. I
I'm
did.
born and raised in Brookhaven, Linwood
You still have
Park.
property there, right?
Yeah, I just sold it. I just
Okay,
sold 4
good.
lots there. I got 1 more lot to sell. And I think my parents may have paid $4,500 for that house. And ooh. And now every house in the neighborhood is $800,000 up.
That's a heck
Isn't
of
that
an investment.
amazing?
Yeah.
And we just had Linwood Park Day last Saturday. You know my school teachers? I still know my school teachers here in Atlanta. Next time I come, I'm going to bring Miss Brewer in with me.
Please.
My 4th grade school teacher. You will love her. As pretty as she can be. 91 years old.
That's my demo, so she's listening. So, Miss
Yes,
Brewer,
yeah.
we'll see you in studio and maybe hook her up with some tickets this weekend at the Helium
Oh, no,
Comedy
she got
Show.
to pay. She got to pay. All of my school teachers know they're welcome, and my family and friends. And it's going to be a new show, a different show, and we just have some fun. And I do what the people ask me to do. I just go up there, got 2 shows, what time, 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock?
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday, and it's going to be awesome. And you got to come up there. You should come up and hang. Bring your wife. Bring your kids.
I'm down. Saturday, I'll tell my wife, belated Mother's Day gift.
There you go.
Yeah. George, so good to see you.
Thank you so much. What'd you get your wife for Mother's Day?
I took her out to Dim Sum, Chinese restaurant.
You have kids?
No kids. 2
That's
dogs.
good. Then you can go anywhere you want to go.
Exactly.
Don't you like dim sum? Oh, because I live in New York. See, New York, great thing about New York City, you can order your Chinese food. They have mugu gai pan, shrimp roll, and a Diet Coke. Okay, thank you much.
Yeah.
Ding dong, that you do it just like that.
Yeah, it's
I think they
amazing.
cook it on the bicycle. They got a micro walk, yeah. So we were talking. They have good Chinese food in Atlanta, too.
Yeah,
a lot of good food here.
This is a great culinary city for sure.
I still love my Capitol Grill here, and I love my steakhouse. What's this guy name out on Irving Place out there? Kevin
Rathbun.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big fan of the show. He's probably listening.
Well, I hope he is. Maybe I'll get a free steak dinner.
Kevin will come see you. Everyone's going to come see you at the brand new Helium Comedy Club in Alpharetta Friday and Saturday. The legend that is George Wallace. And you got to follow him on social media, folks. Just really
Thank you much.
The funny stuff. Mr. George Wallace on Twitter, George Wallace on
You got me down.
on
Yeah,
Instagram.
everywhere.
Absolutely. I'm a stalker, George. I'll see you this weekend, my friend. Don't forget, 10/18, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000, which will cover a few seats at the George Wallace Show this weekend. You can play, yeah.
Can I win the money,
Download
$1,000?
the WSB radio app right now.
You got a deal.
I'll even give you the keyword early. That's how much I love you.
Okay, starts with a T? Thanks.
Let's check the ride around town. Live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, Mike Shields.
And Mark Long, Sandy crash into Cobb County, still in a right lane, but live look at the jam cam. It does appear to be in the clearing stages. 285 westbound, the inner loop at Boulder Crest Road, exit 51. Bumper to bumper, though, as you leave I-20. And a red alert continues into Daresville. Crash investigation continues to shut down all lanes of I-75 southbound before Highway 140. If you're leaving Calhoun trying to get into Daresville, continue to use Highway 41 as an alternate. This support is brought to you by Georgia United Credit Union. Get ready for a financial partner that puts you first. Discover the difference at Georgia United Credit Union. Visit gucu.org/join, insured by NCUA. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
So if you can't handle your real face, then don't tell me how to handle my life.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
They have a lot more money now because they stopped kneeling.
Eric Von Hessler.
Things are going to get broken.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
A company that you trust. Who comes to mind? Ragsdale has been a part of our home for years. They've been my go-to for a new HVAC system, blown-in insulation, and electrical work that makes life more simple. They're on time and work with my busy schedule. Right now, get up to $1,700 off a brand new Carrier home comfort system and enjoy Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Learn why they have a 4.9 Google rating. Start at ragsdaleair.com. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we know gifting isn't just about the latest styles and best quality, it's also about the best prices to make your occasions memorable without breaking the bank. Diamond studs are the perfect gift. They start at just $275 and have 100% upgrade value for life. We have a great selection of diamond and sterling silver jewelry with necklaces as low as $110. So don't compromise on your big occasions. Stay in your budget with something they'll cherish. From D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Windows are supposed to frame the outside.
Instead, you see wood rot, fog, moisture between the paints. Maybe they're drafty or leaky. Upgrade now to beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows to improve energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal.
It's Jonathan and Ted from North Georgia Replacement Windows. Experience the Infinity fiberglass difference at your home or in our new Alpharetta showroom.
0% interest available.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
I've found your next go-to service team for Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi. It's Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing with certified factory techs who won't run up the tab with repairs you don't need. See the difference when you search Wolf Pen Auto Repair.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Do you have over $10,000 in credit card debt? If you're feeling the financial impact with unprecedented economic challenges, DebtBlue is here for you. With DebtBlue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved.
I'm just living sky high right now. I'm very thankful for it, and the team at DebtBlue are phenomenal. They're able to work with you. They're great.
Call for your free debt resolution information now. 800-200-6895. 800-200-6895.
9:55 on the Mark Arum Show. Very busy news day Tuesday. Coming up after the news at 10, we're going to go to New York City. Day 2 of the Diddy trial. Peter Harlamus from ABC's in the courtroom. Going to provide us an update there. Still to come, we are going to talk to our buddy Steve Dorsey. He used to be at CBS. Now he is with the International Red Cross. Give us the behind-the-scene details of that release of the hostage, the American hostage held by Hamas that was released yesterday. Very excited to talk to Steve Dorsey from the International Red Cross. Deborah, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the Beltline, the world's most famous sidewalk. But this story intrigued me. Possibly driverless vehicles on or near the Beltline. What's the story?
Yeah, I always thought the Beltline was your favorite Atlanta attraction.
Yeah.
But we might be seeing some driverless vehicles. They're autonomous vehicles. Now, they're not actually going to be on the trail, the sidewalk, as you like to call it, but they would link up the Southwest Trail to MARTA's West End station. So if you've seen them, they kind of look like big passenger vans, and there's been some pushback because if you remember, like last year, maybe the year before, they were considering putting a light rail around the Beltline, linking that to MARTA stations, but that was turned down. So they're thinking this is a little bit better option, and they want to do this before the World Cup kicks in, so people have a way to get around.
Yeah, everything's focused around the World Cup. Obviously, such a huge international event. But, you know, again, the world's most famous sidewalk, that is the Beltline. I'm not hating on it. People love it. But there's a lot of pedestrians. You know, speaking of Rathbun's, you know, I go to Rathbun's Steak, and it's right on the Beltline. And you see just so many people walking by. That seems to me, I mean, a little dangerous to have an autonomous vehicle buzzing along the Beltline when you got families, kids in strollers, dogs, just walking that trail. I'm a little, I mean, I don't know much about the project, obviously, but I'm worried about the safety of the pedestrians on the Beltline with that. You don't care, Deborah.
I don't. I need to see what it's like and how often they're stopping. Like, I don't really know. Can you stop just anywhere? Are there places to get on and off? Because when I think of, you know, MARTA, I think of specific stops and everything.
Yeah,
this
I
wouldn't be
don't
that
know.
way.
Keep us posted. You know how much I love a good Beltline story. Relatedly, Maya got an update from Uber that they're going to start using those Waymo cars, and she's like, I'm not ready for that, for the driverless Uber cars. I would like to try it. That's the future of transportation, is the autonomous vehicles, but I don't think we're there yet. All right, when we come back after news, weather, and traffic, going to New York City, get an update on the Diddy trial, update the top local stories, and, of course, monitor the market, see if we get another banging day after the Chinese trade truce. Social media is at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Can you remember the last time you turned on the shower and all you got was cold water? Hopefully you don't have a fresh memory of that. Hey, it's Mark Arum. I want you to check out my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Great new deal on a new water heater. Check it out, guys. Only $29.99 a month and no payments for 3 whole months. No credit check and an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Or you want to go tankless? It's only $59.99 a month and you can enjoy endless hot water. Think about those long, hot showers in the cold, cold winter. Their new water heater installations come with their 100% satisfaction guarantee, same-day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. And with their Comfort as a Service program, you get lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and just easy monthly payments. So new water heater, $29.99 a month, or tankless, $59.99 a month. Amazing deal. Amazing hot water, amazing service. Go online to reliableair.com.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's office and meet the care team. For details, visit CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com. That's CometoCenterwellGeorgia.com.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning at 8:50 and visit WSBRadio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the roof guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We're going to start with your money here at 10 o'clock. We are paying about 2.3% more for just about everything compared to a year ago. Jim Ryan has a look at the numbers.
Overall, food prices fell last month by a fraction, but some grocery items saw a dramatic decline. The cost of a dozen eggs, for example, fell more than 10% as the effect of avian flu eased. Still, egg prices are almost 50% higher than in April of last year.
All right, so when we're talking about your money, where do you turn for answers to your financial questions?
A new Gallup poll finds 43% seek out financial advice from friends and family. 41% use financial advisors and planners. 32% lean on banks and credit unions.
And Steve Catham reports 20% of those polled look to podcasts, books, or social media for those answers. Only 12% say they turn to government sources. As we take a look at the markets this morning, the Dow's currently down 136 at 42,273. NASDAQ is in positive territory, up almost a full percent, and the S&P's up almost 0.5%. Your weather for today, a mix of clouds and sun. A pop-up shower is possible this afternoon and a high of 75, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just about 2 minutes. Now to DeKalb County, it's happening now. Police investigating a shooting at a gas station on Hillendale Drive near Lithonia. Blaine Clark is with DeKalb County Police. He says a 17-year-old's dead, an 18-year-old being treated at a local hospital.
Investigators determined the shooting stemmed from an argument involving a third person who left the scene before police arrived. The investigation is ongoing, which includes trying to determine who fired shots in this incident.
And police are searching for that shooter right now. No names have yet been released. President Trump taking part in a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia on the first leg of a three-nation trip to the Middle East.
It's an honor to be you, my friend, and we've had a tremendous relationship over the years.
The president and the Crown Prince holding talks on U.S. work to dismantle Iran's nuclear program, the war in Gaza, and oil prices. The 11th U.S. Circuit Court here in Atlanta taking up an appeal this morning over whether mass voter challenges over Joe Biden's win in Georgia violated the Voting Rights Act.
A federal judge ruled that the mass voter challenge tactics of the right-leaning group True the Vote were unreliable but not illegal voter intimidation. Georgia-based Fair Fight is appealing.
I think we have a really good shot.
Attorney Mark Elias says the challenges of more than 360,000 Georgians were the largest since Jim Crow.
You would literally have to go back to the days of people having to guess the number of jelly beans in a jar to find a larger effort to disenfranchise on a mass basis.
Elias says the Voting Rights Act section on voter intimidation is still good law nationwide. The conservative group's founder says this is about, quote, election integrity. Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Are you a tap water drinker or do you have to have bottled water? Well, Winder has the best water in the state, according to a new survey. The city provided a water sample from the Highway 53 water treatment plant, and they beat 16 other utilities to win best tasting tap water in Georgia. They're now going to compete in the American Waterworks Association's national competition this June in Denver, Colorado. And if you're looking for work this summer, McDonald's is hiring. The fast food restaurant looking to hire some 375,000 people. That's the most in 5 years. McDonald's is one of the biggest U.S. employers, with the company estimating that about 1 in 8 Americans have worked for McDonald's at one time or another in their life. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 149, 42,260. NASDAQ's in positive territory, and so is the S&P. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabrina. Unfortunately, still slow going on the southeast perimeter from I-20, traveling 285 westbound. A long-standing crash in the right lane before Boulder Crest past Flat Shoals, but no need for an alternate route. New trouble on the downtown connector. Actually, it's the end of the ramps getting off of I-20 east and west, trying to ramp ramp onto the connector northbound. They're taking out the left side of that ramp. And still a red alert up in Bartow County. All lanes have been shut down for most of the morning. Crash investigation 75 south at Highway 140. That's exit 306. Use Highway 41. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with pop-up showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. High 75. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with hit-or-miss rain showers and thunderstorms. High 81. Heating up on Thursday. Partly cloudy skies. High 87.
It is 67 degrees in Johns Creek, 70 right now in Forest Park. In Smyrna, you have 68 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole gang with us today. Deborah is the executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. We got to be careful, Deborah. I think George Wallace wanted to poach Vinny from us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he sees the talent that we saw, and I know they were exchanging digits. I don't know what's going to happen, but we got to lock Vinny into a long-term deal. Coming up in 13 minutes or so, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. 11:37. Deborah's got tickets to see Keith Urban at Amerisbank Amphitheater. That's in 10 days, by the way, that concert, May 23rd. So two chances to win some really cool stuff here on the Mark Aram Show. I want to go to New York City now. Joining us from ABC News, our buddy Peter Haralambous. Peter, good morning. Yesterday, day one of the infamous Diddy trial. Were there any big highlights or takeaways from day one?
Yeah, it was really a jam-packed day in that we saw the final jury get selected. We saw the opening statements from both sides, and we heard from two different witnesses who kind of laid the groundwork for what's going to be the star witness, who we're expecting on the stand today, Cassie Ventura. Prosecutors really alleged here that this was a decades-long pattern of violent conduct in which Combs allegedly used drugs, threats, and violence to get his way through any means necessary.
Now, the witness today, this is Diddy's ex, but she's known because of that horrific video that was released, right, of Diddy striking her years ago?
That's exactly right. So CNN released this video showing this assault in 2016. Prosecutors say that video is really showing you the aftermath of what they call, what Combs allegedly called a freak-off. Basically, these were drug-fueled sex parties where Combs would allegedly kind of get people under the influence with alcohol or drugs before watching them engage in sex, and at times videotaping those encounters. In that video shown, originally released by CNN and now shown at trial, you can see Combs violently kicking Ventura and basically retaliating against her for what prosecutors said was her attempt to escape one of these freak-offs. We're expected to hear kind of the first-hand account from Ventura for the first time of this alleged violence. It's really expected to be one of the critical days in what's expected to be a 2-month-long trial.
Peter Haralambous from ABC joining us on the Mark Aram Show was in the courtroom yesterday, will be in the courtroom today. I'm assuming the defense is still saying, this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but everything here was consensual.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The defense lawyers in this case alleged that basically everything here was consensual, that, things are being mischaracterized in now that it's been about a decade since a lot of these allegations happened, and that at the end of the day, Combs perhaps might have not been a great person. Perhaps he did actually enjoy these kind of sexual fantasies, but these, they say, are private acts, that they have nothing to do at the end of the day with a criminal enterprise or anything that's actually illegal here. Now, we'll kind of see a test of that argument, though, today when you hear that first-hand account from Ventura. It's unclear to a certain degree, how well that argument will hold up when you hear it firsthand from allegedly the woman who's been the center of this violence and abuse for about 10 years in her relationship with Combs.
Much to my chagrin, no cameras or microphones allowed in the courtroom, just the sketches. How does Diddy look from your perspective in the courtroom?
He looks remarkably different from the man you might have been used to seeing from the 90s and early 2000s. This kind of swaggering, pioneering hip-hop mogul looks more like a grandpa in a certain way when he's sitting there, because he's in prison right now. He hasn't been allowed to dye his hair, so he's very much much graying. He's sitting there kind of quietly with a sweater, watching as these allegations are detailed against him. The contrast is kind of remarkable when you consider kind of the images we're used to seeing of Combs. This billionaire, this person who, was one of the most powerful men in hip-hop, one of the most powerful men in New York, it basically looks like an older man who, doesn't really resemble the titan of hip-hop that he was known as.
Interesting. Final question for you, Peter. Do we expect any well-known celebrities to take the witness stand as the trial continues?
It's really hard to say. We haven't seen a witness list at this point showing who to expect. I don't think we're going to hear too many high-profile names in terms of of actual witnesses, but I do think they might come up over the course of testimony. For example, we heard during jury selection that the name Mike Myers, the name Kanye is going to come up in some capacity. We weren't told in what way. It doesn't mean that these people were allegedly entangled in any of these allegations, but their names might come up as someone who perhaps attended one of these parties or interacted with Combs in some capacity. So I would expect some names like that to at least come up once.
Peter Haralambous, ABC News in New York. Peter, as always, appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for having me, Mark.
Radio stations around the nation facing a quandary right now, Deborah, about whether or not to play Diddy songs. We talked to our folks at our sister station, Kiss 104. They stopped playing R. Kelly songs once he was convicted of all that. But again, he's not convicted yet. So is Diddy still a playable artist?
I think people are upset enough at the video that they saw of him and Cassie. True. That's enough to turn people off even without him being guilty of anything.
That is true. But apparently he looks like an old man in the courtroom. Not dyeing his hair, wearing I don't want to say a Cosby sweater, but that's probably not a good. But I wonder if that helps his defense if he looks like a frail old man, and the jury looks at him and go, oh, he couldn't have done all that I don't know. Anyway, Diddy. So I am going to update the Diddy trial because I think there could be some bombshell stuff that comes out of it. I am not going to update the Kim Kardashian trial. Are you familiar with that one, Deborah?
It's when she got robbed in
Paris.
In Paris, right?
Yeah. I just would. I'm, sorry for your loss of $1 million in jewels, but I have no interest in the trial there. Checking the market. So we had a bang-up day yesterday on Wall Street. Right now, the Nasdaq's up 191 points. S&P's up 31 points. Dow is down 152, though. But again, well north of that mythical 40,000 mark. The Dow sits at 42,266 right now. We'll see how investors react through the rest of the day. This story surprised me because obviously I'm fascinated with the fast food industry. Longoria and I pounding those double quarter pounder with cheese at McDonald's. And we've seen McDonald's post, big losses like quarter after quarter after quarter. But all of a sudden, McDonald's, Deborah, is now hiring a bunch of folks. What's going on here?
Yeah, they plan to hire over 300,000 employees across the United States this summer. This is part of their plan to open up about 900 new restaurants here in the U.S. by the end of 2027. And this kind of comes from the president really pushing for businesses to invest here more locally. Like, hey, do more in the United States, bring jobs back here. And McDonald's is responding.
That they must know something that the average person doesn't, right? They're losing. Right, and listen, I know there are values to be had at McDonald's. Like you go for McDonald's breakfast, you can get a sausage McMuffin with no egg and a hash brown for like $2.38. Like you can go there and save money, but the value meals they're not value anymore. The double quarter pounder value meal that Longoria and I get, that's like $14 now, and we get a side of nuggets, so it's even more. Am I speaking out of turn? I mean, that's what we do.
No, You're right.
And so they've been losing because people can't afford it. And you see fast casual chains like, I think it's Chili's or Applebee's has an ad right now. They're showing they have a burger that's bigger than the quarter pounder with fries and a drink for $9.99.
Yeah, that's Chili's.
Is it Chili's? Yeah, so, I mean, they're getting hammered. So where are they coming up? They must know something we don't to open 800 more stores and hire 250,000 more employees.
It's not the ice cream machine.
It's well, maybe that they figured. Oh, I saw a funny meme, Pope-related meme. It said it was white smoke over McDonald's, and it's like they do that when the ice cream machine starts working. That they like the chimney at the McDonald's, white smoke, black smoke. The ice cream machine's not working, but white smoke it is. I don't know. That story shocked me because I know they've been hurting. And I don't believe the stock's doing very well. But all right, maybe McDonald's knows something. 900 more stores in the United States and hiring 250,000 more employees. All those federal workers, they got to do something. All the folks that got laid off, they're like, well, yeah, a lot of them are really smart. They have degrees. They can fix the ice cream machine. Maybe that's what they see coming down. Speaking of eating, we've been talking, again, I'm not judging. What did President Trump call him yesterday? The fat shot?
Fat shot.
The fat drug shot?
Fat drug shot.
Yeah. You guys do it, whatever makes you happy. I'm certainly not judging. I could probably use it, but the more I'm hearing about these side effects, I would tend to not want to take them. The latest is something called Ozempic tongue. Now, don't let your mind wander. This has to do with the taste buds on the tongue, right, Deborah? Not anything else with the tongue.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in Hollywood looks great because of Ozempic, but we've heard all these side effects of Ozempic feet and Ozempic butt, and now there's Ozempic tongue, where patients say that after using the drug, they've lost the taste of everything, and it often just has this metallic aftertaste of things. So they can't enjoy some of their favorite foods that they once loved so much because it just tastes terrible now.
Is that the key to weight loss? Not enjoy. That's why I don't want to even think about it. I get so much joy from food that I don't want to lose that. I mean, I'd look better and healthier and wouldn't have this beard. Well, you know what? Looks at this point don't matter. By the way, Deborah sent me a picture of me and my readers yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they are very feminine set of readers.
Are they?
Yeah, I didn't.
They look normal. They just look like glasses to me.
That's a bad look for me.
They're not like the tortoiseshell cat eye glasses or anything.
They're close. They're close.
They're just black frames.
I promised to post it on Instagram, but no. I got to go find some cooler readers.
That's not what I thought when I first saw them. I didn't think like, oh, those are feminine glasses.
I'll show you the picture, and you're going to be like, why is... It was like that episode of Seinfeld when George got the women's glasses. Yeah, not good. I need to go searching for better...
They're gender neutral.
No, I want masculine glasses.
Skull and bones on it or something? What do you want? What makes it masculine?
I don't know, but not the ones I was wearing yesterday.
They're just black frames.
No, they're not, though. They're not. I got them. I brought them here. They're like...
Oh, yeah, you do look feminine.
Yeah, it's
Put them back on, let me see. No, he doesn't. They look perfectly fine.
I look
like
like
a professor.
The bearded lady. No, it's just that they're not complimentary. I remember being a kid, and my nose towards puberty started growing, and I was like, oh, I wish I had glasses to like kind of mask the size of my nose. But even these are these are not good. I'm sorry. Just not even gonna deal. Not even gonna worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. Still to come. We've got an update on the Don Alexander hostage release yesterday, the last American that was being held by Hamas. We're going to get an update there from the Middle East, and we're going to talk to Stephen Dorsey from the International Red Cross. They were the organization that actually did the handoff between Hamas and the Israelis. So we're going to talk to Steve Dorsey about that. But first, let's give away $1,000. Best part of my day right here. Absolute best part of my day. It's the 5K a day bonus blitz, friends. And your 10 a.m. keyword is happy. 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 Enter the keyword happy into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is happy. Happy. And don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up. Could be us telling you want $1,000. Again, the 10 a.m. keyword is happy. Happy. Good luck, friends. And good luck out on those roads. Let's go back live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, Ashley Frasco.
Things are finally getting better on the southeast perimeter. The crash on 285 westbound between Flat Shoals and Boulder Crest is now clearing on the shoulder, so the right lane and all lanes are back open there on the inner loop. Folks staying out of the right lane with flashing lights on 575 northbound north of 6's Road, and a crash clearing on the left side at the end of the ramp downtown from I-20 onto 7585 north. Traffic brought to you by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com for 60% off and free shipping. Code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, is your air conditioning starting to talk to you as things get warmer? This is Scott Slade. Well, if it is, then you should be talking to Ragsdale Heating and Air now. Let me tell you why. These are the guys I've trusted for many years. It comes down to they're great people, many with the company for 10, 20, even 30 years. I look forward to having Ragsdale Heating and Air technicians in my home. They take care of the little things before they become big problems, like the filter I forgot to change. And if you need a new system, this is a great time to take advantage of up to $1,700 off a new Carrier home comfort system. And since it's Ragsdale, you know it's going to come with their trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. 15 years. Ragsdale's the name I know you can trust for plumbing, electrical, and insulation needs, too. I've used them all, and I always come away impressed. Schedule your visit online at ragsdaleair.com or give one of their friendly customer service reps a call. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Termites have one job: to eat 24/7, and your home is directly in their path of destruction. Mark Aram here for my pals at Breda Pest Management. When something threatens the safety of your home, you want a complete barrier, not just a bait station. Only Breda offers Termidor, a liquid barrier system providing total protection. And Breda knows how critical it is to protect the inside of your home, not just the outside, from these eating machines. How are you supposed to know that your home's termite-free inside when your current termite company just walks around the outside of your house checking those bait stations? Breda is better at beating termites. So I want you to switch your termite protection to Breda now, and your rate locked in for 10 whole years, just like my house. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters like termites. Get started at BREDApest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers, to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Home improvement projects can be a stressful guessing game. Trust the Plus, Painting Plus, the highest level of communication. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We'll make you comfortable and keep you informed with every step of your project.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus, siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
No New Year's Day.
Oh my God, I forgot about this song. Happy 75th birthday, Stevie Wonder. Apparently goes to church with George Wallace. If you missed that interview with Mr. Wallace, it'll be up on the podcast after the show. Not only is it Stevie's 75th birthday, how about a birthday shout out to Winston Wolfe?
You're Jimmy, right? This is your house? Sure is. I'm Winston Wolfe. I solve problems.
Harvey Keitel, 86 years old. Goodness gracious. That was him as the legendary character Winston Wolfe in the amazing movie Pulp Fiction. So happy 86th birthday to... I've never interviewed Harvey Keitel. I would love to get that done. Hey, don't forget, in case you missed it, the 10 a.m. keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz is HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter the keyword HAPPY into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y. Spell it correctly, Aaron. H-A-P-P-Y. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you won $1,000. You got about 5 minutes to get that keyword in. Again, it's HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y. All right, monitoring the markets. Dow's down a little. NASDAQ is up. U.S. stocks basically holding steady following a report that showed inflation unexpectedly slowed across the country last month. It's a cool down from Monday's big leap triggered by a 90-day pause announced in the trade war between the United States and China. Economists and analysts say inflation still might run higher in coming months because of those tariffs, though. Scott Linicum is the vice president of general economics at the Cato Institute, talking about what we've seen in the markets the last couple of days.
Before Donald Trump came into office, average tariff rates in the United States were around 2 to 3%. Even after this big China pullback, you're looking at rates at like 15 to 20%, depending on how you calculate it. Now, that's a huge tax that is mainly going to be paid by American companies and consumers.
Still higher than we've had it previously, but certainly not the 145%, 115% reciprocal tariffs that we saw with China. Again, a 90-day pause there. Dow's down 70. NASDAQ, though, is up 267, up almost 1.5 percentage points. We'll update the markets throughout the day for you. Keywords HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, for the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Just a couple of minutes to enter that onto the WSB Radio app. When we come back, the very latest on the American hostage, the final American held by Hamas, Adnan Alexander. We'll get the latest from the Mideast, and Steve Dorsey from the International Red Cross will tell us what happened behind the scenes. All of that next on the Mark Arum Show.
You've had your windshield wipers on high a lot lately, and they're getting the job done, but how is your roof holding up after all this heavy rain? Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Extreme weather can really challenge your roof. After storms like that, think of Findlay first and schedule a free roof analysis. Findlay has installed over 65,000 local roofs. They've mastered roof replacement and do impeccable high-quality work. Schedule now at FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof. I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Scott Slade here for My Roofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you're going to be able to get it into the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Happening right now in DeKalb County. Police are investigating a deadly shooting at a gas station in Lithonia.
An altercation inside a Shell gas station on Hillendale Drive results in gunfire, and DeKalb Police spokesman Blaine Clark says 1 teen is dead.
On arrival, they found a 17-year-old male and an 18-year-old male shot. Sadly, the 17-year-old died of his injuries at a local hospital.
The 18-year-old is being treated for his injuries. A third person also involved in the altercation is being sought. Anyone with information can make an anonymous call to DeKalb Police. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Mix of clouds and sun today, headed for an afternoon high of 75. There could be a pop-up shower this afternoon, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Now to Gwinnett County. Police there searching for a murder suspect this morning, 39-year-old Frederick Taylor of Lawrenceville. He's wanted in the death of 35-year-old Tiffany Trim of Snellville. It happened on April 30th at a home on Hillsborough Drive. A child in that house called 911 to say that there was a fight between a man and a woman. When officers arrived, they found the victim dead. They were told the suspect had just left on foot. The juveniles in the home were not harmed and were not related to the victims or suspect. The annual inflation rate slipped 2.3% in April, lower than expected and the lowest since February of 2021. Tony Waterman reporting this morning that the markets had expected the consumer price index to increase 2.4%.
The latest inflation data suggests that businesses are still trying to decide what to do about Trump's trade tariffs, eat the cost, or pass price increases along to consumers. For now, it seems they're taking a wait-and-see approach.
Now, excluding food and energy, the CPI was up 2.8% year over year, according to the numbers out today from the Labor Department. Zoo Atlanta launching a new discount program while phasing out another one.
The Zoo Atlanta Library Pass program will end on June 1st. You can continue to check out passes at public libraries through the end of this month, and the zoo will honor any vouchers already accessed through the end of June. As that program ends, Zoo Atlanta announces a new discount for SNAP families. With proof of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, families can purchase a daytime general admission ticket for $6.
And Cheryl Castro reports that SNAP participants can also buy a family membership to Zoo Atlanta for $50. A small nodule has been found in former President Biden's prostate after a routine physical exam. A small nodule can mean a wide range of things and would require further testing to understand the underlying cause. Back in 2023, during his presidency, Mr. Biden had a lesion removed from his chest that was cancerous. And then before entering office, he had several melanoma skin cancers removed. All right, we all use them, Ziploc bags. Now, a California woman has filed a class action lawsuit over them. Correspondent Michael Wallace has details on that.
In her lawsuit against Ziploc's parent company, SC Johnson & Son, Linda Cheslow claims its microwave and freezer-safe bags release microplastics when they're microwaved or frozen. Then those microplastics are leached into consumers' food. She claims SC Johnson knows the bags are not safe or green, but they don't want consumers to know it. SC Johnson has not commented on the lawsuit.
Now, health experts have found microplastics can lead to cancer, hormone disruption, and cognitive decline. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow's currently down 119 points at 42,290. NASDAQ is in positive territory, up more than a full percent. and NASDAQ, S&P is up almost a full percent. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather brought to you by American Crawl Space Solutions. Here's Ashley Fresca.
Slowest ride in town is downtown, and call it sluggish on 75-85 northbound just between University Avenue and Peachtree Pine Street. 85 south, you have a tap of the brakes approaching Pleasant Hill, still for that ride out of Duluth. And some much better news getting through Bartow County and Adairsville. They've opened one lane past that crash investigation that's been ongoing for over 3 hours. 75 south at Highway 140, exit 306. Continue to use Highway 41. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Sunny skies today, though pop-up showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening hours. High 75, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a few hit-or-miss rain showers. High 81, drying out on Thursday and heating up. Daytime high 87.
It is 69 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta, 69 in Lilburn. East Point has 70 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. Wednesday at 5 on Atlanta's Morning News, your exclusive 5-day forecast with more rain coming. And Clark's warning about certified pre-owned cars on WSB.
Celebrations in Israel yesterday after Hamas released Israeli U.S. soldier Idan Alexander. How it went down behind the scenes. We'll find out next on The Mark Arum Show.
When it comes to defending down bikers' rights, trust is everything and results matter. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, local motorcycle injury attorneys who ride. They specialize in protecting bikers who've been hurt. The mega firms will send an investigator or a paralegal, not a lawyer. With Steel Horse Law, you'll meet directly with your own attorney to get you back on your feet, medical bills paid, back to work, and your case resolved. Schedule your free accident evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your heating and cooling system so old you can't remember when it was installed? If so, it's time to get protection from Reliable Heating and Air. Hey, friends, it's Mark Arum. Check this out. Let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just coverage for your aging AC and heating systems. Get all the information you need online at reliableair.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
That musty smell in your house may be a sign of water in your crawl space. Christina Upwards here. Call American Crawl Space Solutions to make the smell and the water go away.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
10:37 on a beautiful Tuesday in Atlanta. Isn't it lovely? Isn't it lovely outside? Coming up in just a few minutes, Matthew Boyle from Bloomberg News going to join us live with the crazy situation going on, not just in Newark, but pretty much nationwide with the air traffic shortage. 30 minutes from now, we're going to talk to Atlanta-born and raised comedian Heather McMahon. She is at the Fox Theater this weekend. And right after the news at 11:35, Deborah's got more tickets to give away to see Keith Urban, Ameris Bank Amphitheater, May 23rd. And then right after the news, another chance for you to win $1,000 in the 5K a day bonus blitz. I do want to update the kidnapped Israeli-American soldier, Idan Alexander. He had an emotional reunion with his family. He'd been held by Hamas since the October 7th attack, is believed to be the last surviving American hostage in Gaza. CBS News correspondent Deborah Patta has more from Tel Aviv.
For the families of the other 58, both living and dead, still in captivity, joy over Alexander's release was mixed with rage. Many of them accused Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of deliberately prolonging the war. And Yehuda Cohen, the brother of slain hostage Nimrod, begged President Trump to finish what he started.
Push Netanyahu to go for a hostage deal, end the war and a hostage deal.
Continuing our team coverage of that hostage release, joining us on the show, spokesperson for the International Red Cross, Steve Dorsey. Steve, how did this all go down yesterday behind the scenes, the release of Idan Alexander?
Well, this is an operation that was carefully coordinated through multiple channels across the region, working closely with the Israeli Defense Forces, closely, of course, with Hamas fighters who had to turn over this man to us. Of course, immediately we're concerned about his well-being after something like 600 days in captivity. So that was a major concern for us. We usually travel with a doctor, a very small team, unarmed team, in a very dangerous area, too, because this is an area that is just completely inundated with unexploded bombs, ordnance, and then transporting him in our vehicles to the IDF to hand him off and eventually get him to his family.
Where exactly did the hostage release occur?
Khan Yunis, and then eventually handing him off to the IDF, waiting for him in southern Israel.
Interesting. Steve Dorsey joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. Idan Alexander was the name of the hostage released. There are still other hostages held. What role will your organization have going forward in trying to coordinate the release of the remaining hostages?
Well, listen, since day one of this conflict, we've said that hostage taking by anyone is illegal. It's an international humanitarian law violation. We've condemned it. We've also called on Hamas to allow us access to these hostages. We have not been allowed access to check on their welfare, to check on their well-being, to deliver messages from them to their family. This is something we continue to press for these remaining hostages. Not only Hamas, but any side, any group that has influence on Hamas too. That's a key mission of ours, and we want to make sure that if we can't get a ceasefire that allows for their release, that at least we have access to provide them the health care and the support and the messages that they need.
And any initial reports on the health of Idan Alexander when he was handed over to you in custody?
Well, listen, I think it's still a little too early to know. He's, of course, being evaluated by Israeli doctors. He is enjoying reunification with his own family, his friends, his community. But certainly there's those invisible wounds, too, right? Can you imagine the traumatic, scarring, emotionally damaging experience that must be like to live and be subjected to the kinds of conditions that he was held under. And that's something I think everyone should be very concerned about as well.
Indeed. Steve Dorsey from the International Committee of the Red Cross joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. Now, does your organization have direct contact with Hamas, or do you have to go through an intermediary to get in touch with them to help coordinate all this?
Well, most of our conversations with Hamas happen through the parties that are involved, either with that previous ceasefire that we saw over the winter, with the negotiators of the hostage release, often with diplomatic channels in the region. But on the ground, most of our work is only when we really see Hamas at these hostage handover locations.
Gotcha. Steve Dorsey, great to catch up. Thanks for the great news, and we'll catch up down the road.
Thanks, Mark.
584 days. Idan was in captivity. 584 days. Again, we heard from Karen Travers in Riyadh, traveling with the president. We had thought or hoped the President Trump would be able to meet Idan in his Mideast trip, but apparently logistically that's not going to work out, but he is going to speak with him. But interesting insight there. Steve Dorsey from the International Red Cross really basically helping with the transfer of the last, as far as we know, the last living American prisoner, hostage held by Hamas. So good stuff there. Just pick this up, Deborah. from our buddy Greg Bluestein, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. A reminder, tomorrow, political analyst Stephen Lawson is going to be live in the studio. I'm going to pick his brain about this. Apparently, I'm just going to read this from Greg on AJC. Apparently, Governor Brian Kemp and President Trump met quietly Saturday in Washington to discuss unifying behind a Republican Senate candidate in Georgia, according to 4 people with knowledge of the discussions who are not authorized to speak publicly about the meeting. Not immediately clear if the two reached an agreement over backing the same contender in the wide-open race against Democratic incumbent Jon Ossoff, but one person described the meeting as productive. Governor Kemp told the AJC last week he anticipated a conversation with Trump in hopes of combining forces behind a candidate, though he cautioned that coming to a consensus, quote, is hard to do in primaries. Now, why is that really important? We've spent a lot of time, especially since Brian Kemp said he's not going to run for Senate. Two big offices up for grabs November of next year. The governor, who's going to replace Governor Kemp, and the Senate seat, who is going to challenge Jon Ossoff from the Republican side. And we've already had a number of contestants getting out there. I think what the president and what Governor Kemp want to avoid is a really messy primary where so much money is spent and so much political capital is used to try to find a single candidate. Like, those primaries can be dirty on both sides of the aisle. It's not just Republicans. They can be dirty on the Democratic side of the aisle. And I think the hope is for the Republican Party, both in Georgia and nationally, is to avoid that mess. And I would imagine if both Governor Kemp and President Trump say, hey, we endorse this candidate in the Republican primary for the U.S. Senate seat, that's it, right? If you're not getting that endorsement between Kemp and Trump, why even race? Why even get in the race? Why stay in the race? So I think if they want, the best path to victory would be consolidating all the political powers locally and nationally behind a single candidate. Now, I don't know. That's tricky. Do you want to tip the scales before the primary? Is that a moral question? Do you want to say, hey, this is our favorite, sorry, everybody else? The interesting reporting there from Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, who I believe, Deborah, graduated from the Grady School of Journalism at the University of Georgia. Greg obviously making great use of his degree. I graduated a degree from Marist College in journalism. You could debate whether or not I got anything out of that degree, but I regret majoring in journalism. I tell all the kids in college that want to get into journalism, major in something else, minor in journalism, because I just don't think that degree is worth it. What are some of the college degrees that the experts say are actually worth the parchment they're printed on, Deborah?
Yeah, college is expensive. If you want your money back, these are the 3 degrees that will really kind of make the most bang for the buck. Engineering, math, and computer sciences. They're going to give you about an 18% return on your investment, which is the most of any degree.
ROI.
Yep.
All right, so now if I was 18 right now and heading off to college and you told me those numbers, what are the 3 degrees again?
Engineering.
I'm no good at that.
Math.
Definitely no good at that.
And computer degrees. I'm out.
I'm good at social media. Does that count as? I'm not
You
even.
can't even log into your TikTok.
No, I logged in. There were
you did?
There were 99 notifications. I accidentally logged into it. By the way, it wasn't even intentional.
Did you remember it though?
Oh, it was the Face ID. It worked.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, you're right. So I wouldn't have had. I would imagine most. I don't know percentage wise. Vinny, you're the closest out of college. What was your major in school, Vin?
Music business.
And you knew from an early age that you wanted to do that, right?
About 13, yes.
Yeah. So I knew at 13, journalism's the thing for me. I think most people know at an early age what they want. It's the people that are undecided that should be pointed to these degrees, right? Engineering, computers, whatever Deborah said, math. Right? Because if I went to Vinny at 18 and said, hey, Vinny, you should forget music, whatever the hell you majored in, you should major in engineering or computer science, you would have said what?
I would have said no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But undecideds, that if you're looking for something and you want to make money, engineering, computer sciences, and math.
See, I should have did that.
No. You've got listen, George Wallace is about to hire you and go on tour. So you're doing fine with that music degree. All right, when we come back after the break, air traffic controller shortage continues nationwide. Matthew Boyle from Bloomberg News going to join us live with the latest. But first, let's check the ride around town. Live with the latest, here's Ashley Frasca.
Got a little bit of a jam downtown. No crashes, just volume on 7585 northbound, the worst of it between University Avenue and Freedom Parkway. And looking for new trouble up at 10th Street. That's keeping your ride slow into Midtown Atlanta. And it's still slow going on the Buford Spring Connector as you're pointed south into town. And only one lane is open in Bartow County over a 3-hour-long investigation with a crash 75 south at Highway 140. Continue using Highway 41 through Adairsville to avoid the backups. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Listen up, because women have long waited for the world to recognize the importance of our health.
Northside Hospital goes beyond "we hear you" to "we're out here with you," because women deserve more than open ears.
They deserve open doors, and 1 ounce of action is worth 1,000 words.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work for you.
This is a house call. Heard. Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Termites, like me, eat 24/7, and your home is in their path of destruction. Mark Aram here for Breda Pest Management. You want a complete barrier from Breda, not just a bait station. If your current service only inspects the outside, how do you know the inside of your home's termite-free? Breda is better at beating termites. Only Breda inspects and protects the outside and inside. Plus, your termite rate is locked in for 10 years.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Jason Hansen, former CIA officer here with an urgent warning. The 2025 tariffs are a matter of national security, and retaliation can become an extreme national threat. Every American with a 401k, IRA, or retirement account should act now before it's too late. I urge everyone to protect and secure their hard-earned money with physical gold and silver before we see massive retaliations from China and an extreme market of volatility. I only trust Advantage Gold with my money. They're the #1 precious metals company in America, and they can help you secure retirement with physical gold and silver. To get started, just call 800-324-9902 and request their free gold investment guide and learn how you can own physical gold and silver, tax-free and penalty-free. But don't wait. This threat is real. Call 800-324-9902. Now again, that's 800-324-9902. Call right now and get your free gold investment guide today or visit AdvantageGold.com. Past performance may vary. Always consult with a tax and financial professional.
To keep them strong, moving in the right direction.
10:54 of the Mark Arum Show. Welcome back, friends. Coming up after news, weather, and traffic, we're going to be joined by comedian Heather McMahon. Ashley Frasca is going to make a surprise appearance as well. Right now, though, we turn to senior reporter for Bloomberg News, Matthew Boyle. Matthew, good morning. The headline reads, and it's not a good headline, spoiler alert, it's never been harder to find air traffic controllers in the United States. We see what's playing out in Newark, but this isn't just a Newark issue, is it?
No, you're absolutely right, Mark. This is a nationwide issue. It's been, it's not a new issue, but it's gotten much worse, and the spotlight is very much on it because of the outages we've seen at Newark, because of the crash in D.C. earlier this year. It's really a pickle here and a problem, and we decided to take a look at the job itself of the air traffic controller. You know, who does these types of jobs? How long does the training take? What do they get paid? All these fascinating questions. It's a really, really interesting sector of the economy, a really interesting occupation. So we tried to lay that out in our story today.
Obviously, as you mentioned, D.C., Newark, but you here in Atlanta, we're home to the world's busiest airport. Are we starting to see some cracks in the armor here in Atlanta? And if not now, when?
I mean, there are sort of, you could say certainly cracks appearing all over the place. The busiest airports, that's the challenge, Mark, because the busiest airports require the most experienced controllers. And even if you've been a controller for some years at another location, let's say you move to Atlanta, you got to get trained up on that airport. One person told me it's like, you might know how to drive a car, but if you move to a new part of the country, you got to learn the highways and byways, right? So they're also dealing with outdated equipment. We're hearing stories of systems that are literally running on, like 1990s floppy disks. So while a lot of the focus is on Newark right now, this is a system that is straining, and the government is trying to fill the gaps, trying to address the shortfall. But again, you can't just snap your fingers and create, thousands of new air traffic controllers. And right now we're about 3,000 short. So we need to get more through the academy. We need to enable them to get into these roles. And it's something that's, not going to be going away anytime soon.
Final quick question, Matthew. We're up against the news break, but from start to finish, how long does it take to hire and train a new air traffic controller?
It can take several months at the academy, and then before you are a certified controller, it can take another year or two of on-the-job training. So, we're talking about something that could last up to 3 years here.
Matthew Boyle, senior reporter, Bloomberg News. Matthew, appreciate the insight. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
There you go. Obviously, listen, the transportation hub that is Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, and I'm not just saying this selfishly because I have 1, 2, 3 flights planned over the next couple of months, but not a good situation. We're 3,000 short of air traffic controllers. Never too late for a career change, Longo. You and I, we'll go to the academy together. It was like police academy. I'm Steve Gutenberg, and you could be Bubba Smith. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, Ashley Frasca live in studio and comedian Heather McMahon. We'll be right back. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB.
WSB Atlanta.
WSB FM and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews for My Roofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it in the budget? FGA Roofing is offering a 000 offer this month. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
When you need quality professional tree work, choose Heath Tree Service. Hi, I'm Jimmy Heath. My father started Heath Tree Service over 60 years ago, and we're still family owned, certified arborists and experts with trees. Find us at heathtreeservice.com.
Hope. It's more than a word. It's a breakthrough in the making. At City of Hope, we're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, with teams of experts working together to personalize a treatment plan right down to your DNA with unprecedented speed, making every second count, with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Happening right now, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals here in Atlanta is hearing the case of whether a Texas-based group used mass voter challenges to violate the Voting Rights Act.
Even if you apply the morale standard, which is you have to have specific intent to conduct the proscribed act, which is challenge voters.
Isn't that what they want to do? Come on, they're duking it out. We got to make sure we don't have people from other places voting. We want to intimidate them without using those words. Wasn't that the purpose of it?
Well, that was not the purpose at all.
Now, this case stems from the True the Votes attempt to challenge more than 360,000 Georgia voters ahead of the 2021 U.S. Senate runoffs. Georgia-based Fair Fight, a pro-voter organization, filed suit saying that the effort violated the Voting Rights Act, which prohibits any attempt to intimidate or coerce voters. We, of course, will be watching and we'll let you know what happens. Mix of clouds and sun today with an afternoon high of 75. A pop-up shower is possible later on today, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. A deadly shooting is under investigation this morning in Lithonia. DeKalb police responding. They found 2 teenagers shot. A 17-year-old is dead. An 18-year-old's in the hospital right now. Blaine Smith with DeKalb police tells us they are looking for a third person.
Anyone with information can send an anonymous tip to DeKalb County Police through the free Tip 411 app or by texting DKPD to 847-411, followed by the tip.
And police are also reviewing surveillance video right now in the area of that store. They're hoping that they can help identify the person involved in this shooting that they're searching for. President Trump is in Saudi Arabia on the first stop of the first Middle East trip of his second term. The president talking major investments from Persian Gulf nations, including not only the Saudis, but also the United Arab Emirates and Qatar. White House correspondent Weijia Zhang is traveling with the president in Saudi Arabia and reports on the goal of the trip.
The Crown Prince here has already said he was going to invest $600 billion into the U.S. economy during Trump's presidency. Trump says he wants that figure to be $1 trillion. The two did sign some understandings today, but they weren't exactly any deals that have monetary figures attached to them.
Now, among the topics that were discussed, Iran's nuclear program, the war in Gaza, and oil prices. Nissan's cutting jobs and closing factories, falling sales in China, and heavy discounting, I should say, in the U.S. has taken a toll on earnings for Nissan. The latest cutbacks bringing the total number of layoffs announced by the company in the past year to about 20,000 or 15% of its workforce, 2/3 of the latest job cuts will come from manufacturing, the rest from sales, administration jobs, and research. And if you like movies, you will like this. AMC Theaters offering half-price tickets on Wednesdays. The chain saying it's going to start rolling out the discounts on July 9th. The half-price deal is good all day and will be based on the cost of a normal adult evening ticket. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 173 at 42,236. So the Dow's down almost 0.5%. NASDAQ's up almost 0.5%, 1.5%, and the S&P is up almost a full percent. All right, Alex Williams, how are we doing on the roads this morning? It's a Tuesday, and the drive-in this morning was not fun. Is it better now?
It's trying to get better, Sabrina. Good morning. Yeah, right now we just had a stall. Hero and police got it off to the side downtown, 75-85 and northbound at 10th Street, exit 250, but still seeing some of that morning volume mixed in with that back toward University Avenue. If you're traveling out into Cobb County, you got that right lane construction on the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp between 285 and Wesley Chapel, causing some merging madness there. And then up in Adairsville, that crash investigation from this morning still ongoing. Only one lane open, 75 southbound before Highway 140 exit 306. Highway 41 is very slow as an alternate between Calhoun and Adairsville. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with pop-up showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. High 75. Lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with hit-or-miss rain showers and thunderstorms. High 81. Heating up on Thursday. Partly cloudy skies. High 87.
71 degrees in Lawrenceville. College Park has 72, and it's 70 in Sandy Springs. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I want this town to be near you.
11:05 on a gorgeous Tuesday in Atlanta. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Don't disappear at noon, though, because right after the noon news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Another chance for you to win $1,000 right here, just listening to 95.5 WSB. Speaking of prizes, 30 minutes from now, Deborah's got tickets to see Keith Urban at Marist Bank Amphitheater May 23rd. Coming up in just a minute, we're going to talk to Atlanta's own comedian extraordinaire, Heather McMahon. She is at the Fox Theater this weekend. We're going to update our top local stories. Deborah, I want to go back to the story we started the show off with, talking about compost piles. Don't tip it off yet, because we had a question on this story when it popped up about composting, and I said, I bet Ashley Frasca knows about composting. She is composting. Yeah. She's the host of Green and Growing every Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. here on WSB. All right, composting in general, Ashley, you a fan of this?
Yeah, I've tried my hand at it.
It doesn't weird you out? Like, what do you put in your compost pile?
It can be pretty smelly if you don't do it right.
What do you throw in there?
So I had a big Tupperware in the kitchen with a lid. That's key, so you don't smell kitchen scraps. The ends of the onions, the potato skin you don't eat, eggshells, coffee grinds, all those kinds of things. You can use bones, but you would need to grind them like chicken bones.
You grind so
I don't have a grinder. That's
so people
pretty
don't
involved.
get the bone, like animals don't grab the bones out. Do you get animals in the compost pile?
No, I had a hot bin composter, which is made of like really fancy styrofoam that's used in spaceships. So
Wow.
nothing like got into the
Okay.
styrofoam. Yeah.
All right. So my best friend growing up, EJ, his parents were hippies and they had a compost pile. And I'd never heard of it, but every day we'd take our table scraps and go to the backyard and just throw it on this steaming
That's right.
pile of something. All right. So you're pro composting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Level below
Let's
pro.
see if you're going to stay that way.
Okay.
Deborah, what's the story? What is now legal to compost here in the state of Georgia?
Yeah, Governor Kemp just signed a bill making it legal for Georgia to have human composting.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I didn't know that was a thing, but now it's legal. Now it's not, you don't put it in a styrofoam container. You know, Aunt Betsy passes, you don't throw her in the backyard. But this is what's the procedure again, Deborah?
So they take the body, right, and then they put microbes, organic matter, special stuff basically on this deceased body that helps speed up decomposition, turns it into soil of which they give back to the family, and they can use that soil for their own gardens.
How about that, Ashley?
There is someone that used to work here who shall remain nameless that when they pass, that's what they want done with their body.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah,
It's
and
not you.
All right, so
it's not me.
All right,
I haven't decided where I'm going.
As
yet.
a gardener, oh, we know where you're going. It's just a matter of
well, it'll be hot enough.
all right, as our green and growing expert, when you get Aunt Betsy's soil returned from the company, are you using that to plant fruits and veggies, or are you using it just for like flowers. I would have an issue eating tomatoes that were grown from Aunt Betsy's soil, personally.
I can understand that, but it's all so broken down that at that point it's just nutrients, really.
Sure.
So I don't think there's a problem using it. And it's not going to be on the fruits. Like, it's not actually going to be on the tomato or the pepper.
No,
It's in
I
the soil
understand.
that it's
I
grown
understand
from.
how it
So,
works.
Yeah. I mean, I would use regular compost with my vegetables, so absolutely.
All right. Give me a heads up. I know Ashley and Longoria are our two gardeners here. You guys will often bring in peppers.
I have something to say about my blueberries. They're no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, so there you go. Human composting. Can we expect to hear that on Green and Growing this Saturday?
I may change my will
Yeah.
today from listening to the Mark Arum show. Yeah.
There you go. Composting. All right.
That's
What is coming
fascinating.
up? Do you have any? I'm your producer for Green and Growing, so I guess I should tell you what's coming up this weekend.
Yeah. What's coming up this Saturday? On
We're
Green
going to
and
talk
Growing?
about human composting. We're going to. Oh, while I have you.
Okay.
My,
your lawn.
My lawn.
Yes.
Heather McMahon, hang on. We're going to get to you in a second. I'm so sorry, Heather. So my lawn has been beautiful. Maya and I are in a new house 2 years now. Last summer, beautiful lawn. Now the lawn, I'm seeing this explosion of like these little clovers, not grass. Like not, I don't know if they're 4-leaf clovers or whatever, but it's not the lush, beautiful grass anymore. It's like it's being overrun by these clover little things. What do I need to do on
You
that?
probably need to aerate. Have you aerated the lawn?
I
since
aerate
you've
the
been there?
studio every morning between 9 and noon, but I've not aerated my lawn.
You
No.
should, because the soil gets compacted and the grass has trouble filling in. So
Okay.
you should aerate it, which you just go at it and make plugs in the soil, and that puts oxygen in the soil, and then the grass can grow a little
So
bit
that's why
better.
the soil's too compact.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And the dogs run on it and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And you and Maya do marathons back there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it gets compacted.
So can I get an aerator at like Ace
Oh,
Hardware?
it's
or...
hard to do on your own.
Oh, I can do it. I just need the tool. Is there a
Well,
tool?
I mean, you're doing it with your hand. Like, I'm talking big aerator that you have to walk behind and push, and it's hard.
I hand mow my lawn, Ashley. You've seen my push lawnmower.
It would take a long time to aerate it by hand. Go for it, though. Man,
right.
once you're done with your yard.
Yeah, try
you
it this
come do
weekend and
mine.
let us know how it goes on Monday.
It's hard.
Sun's out, guns out, Fraz.
I got a guy.
Yeah.
I'll let you know I got
All
a
right.
guy.
Thank you. Ashley
Yeah.
Frasco, always a pleasure. Good stuff. Ashley, again, live this Saturday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., Green and Growing. And she's going to talk about the now legal human composting here in the state of Georgia. Listeners, you might remember a few months ago, I came back the morning after the amazing Larry David show at the Fox Theater, and my biggest regret of the night was I was sitting next to comedian Heather McMahon, and I didn't say anything. I didn't want to bother her. She's so cool and hip. Full circle. Not only am I going to get to see Heather McMahon at the fabulous Fox Theater on May 17th, but she joins us here on the Mark Arum Show. Heather, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Well, you should have said something.
You were sitting. I was like, oh, I'm not going to bother her. You're a celebrity. You
No,
probably get
please.
hounded all the time. But it was so cool. My brother was in from Seattle.
Yeah.
And I'm nudging him. I'm like, Rich, look who it is. He's like, oh my God, should we say it? I'm like,
Well, I was geeking out just as much because I'm a huge Larry David fan. So to see him at the iconic Fox, it was that was such a cool night.
That was
so
a very cool
I'm
night.
still such a patron of the arts. I try and see as many shows as I can that come through Atlanta. And that I was so excited he was there.
I felt better about myself knowing that the Fox gave me tickets next to you. I'm like, oh, all right. I've reached that level of success.
Listen, I love the Fox more than anything. I shot my last special at the Fox. That is my favorite theater in the world. And so I love the whole team there. Those are my people.
So a return.
A return,
to the
yes.
fabulous Fox Theater, May 17th.
Uh-huh.
Tickets available online.
Yeah,
all
at
that stuff.
heatherontour.com.
Yeah. So what can we expect on the 17th? New stuff?
All new stuff,
Yeah.
total new hour. This is the Bamboozle tour, so I'm touching on how we've all kind of bamboozled ourselves, how we're trying to keep our head above water these days. And it's just going to be a raw, real 90 minutes of just letting it rip.
That's fantastic. So how did I didn't see the first show where you taped your special. I mean, as a local kid, like it doesn't get better than the Fox Theater.
It really doesn't. And the first time I got to play the Fox on my first tour a couple years ago, it was just like a complete out-of-body experience. I mean, as an Atlanta kid, I grew up seeing every show you can imagine come through there. And then when it was time to shoot my second special, I said, we have to do it at the Fox. And just the way that this city has come out for me and supported me through my comedy career, I'm just forever grateful.
Is it overwhelming when you do this show, May 17th, at the Fabulous?
Yeah.
I would imagine because you're from here, deep roots here, family, friends, etc. how many ticket requests are you going to get?
Well, that's the thing. We are maxed out on comp tickets. My mom's entire bridge club at our country club. My mom literally yesterday was like, I need 200 tickets. I'm like, Mom, there's not 200 tickets left. Like, what are we doing here?
The bridge club.
Everybody, it is funny. When you come home, everybody wants it for free, which is hysterical, which I'm more than happy to do. But at some point, the Fox is like, Heather, you can't give away 300 free tickets. Your family has to pay for them eventually, which is hysterical.
But
to me.
that's ball players have the same thing, right?
Yeah.
If you're like Michael Harris is from Atlanta,
right?
I'm sure when he got called up to the big leagues, everyone he went to middle school with was like, hey, dude, hook me up with some tickets.
Absolutely. I'll give them to my old theater teachers, but my math teachers will never get them. They barely pass me. So, but no, being back in Atlanta is so much fun. And it's obvious, I know these are my people. And that's one of the reasons why I chose, I've lived in LA, I've lived in New York, but why I choose to live in Atlanta now is I like being around Atlantans. I like being in the South. It's very refreshing. I'm on the road, almost every day of the year. So for me to come home and call this home, it's such a full circle moment for me to come back to the Fox and bring some joy to our city.
And gives you home field advantage. Too,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Or it works against me. Or they're giving me notes after the show. That's what it is. It's
Heather,
my mom's friends being like, I didn't like this joke. I'm like, all right, here we go.
The Ridge ladies can be very critical.
Most critical. After 3 white wines, forget it.
And there's white wine available at the Fabulous Fox.
Always.
Heather McMahon in studio here on the Mark Arum Show. Her show Saturday, May 17th at the Fabulous Fox Theater. Is it too much to say, and I don't want to, blow smoke up your butt, but it's been a meteoric rise, right? This all happened really quickly.
It feels that way. It seems that way.
Yeah.
But, in comedy, you're grinding it out for 15 years. And then once it clicks, it clicks. So I will say once the train left the station, it's been a wild ride. Yeah. And, I've gotten to perform in Australia, New Zealand, all over the world, which has just been so cool for me. But I just love what I do. The fact that I get to get up every day, write jokes, tell jokes, bring people joy, and that's how I make money. Somebody pinch me.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. I don't know what a horrible thing happened to me in a previous life, but it had to have been pretty grim in a previous life because I feel like
you're getting rewarded.
I'm getting rewarded now.
But now you mentioned something clicked. Is there a moment? Is there a time? Is there a performance? Was there something that you can look back on 40 years from now when you write your autobiography and go, this is when it all came together?
It's interesting. I was living in LA, out there, hustling and grinding, doing the thing. And I moved back to Atlanta kind of on a whim after my dad had passed. And I thought it was going to be very temporary. Yeah. And that's when Instagram stories kind of took off. Yep. So here I was feeling sorry for myself. I'm not in LA. I'm not in the scene. What's going to happen for me in Atlanta? And I started using social media to get my jokes out. And it wasn't until I moved home that things absolutely blew up. So I owe a lot to Atlanta. I sometimes feel like you have to go back to your roots to have a more grounded point of view and perspective. And I think it was just being back home helped me to be more authentic and find my voice in a stronger way. And I owe everything to coming home.
That makes sense because I first found out about you on Instagram.
Yeah.
You kind of went viral there and took off. So proud of you.
Oh, you're so sweet. This is just so cool. I've also been geeking out walking through this office. I grew up, as an Atlanta kid listening to y'all. So this is very cool.
All right, May 17th at the Fox. Website for the tickets.
HeatherOnTour.com.
HeatherOnTour.com. And social medias, we got to follow you. Where are you?
Heather K. McMahon on the TikToks, the Instagrams. You'll always find me out at Storco Fresco and Yeppa too. All my favorite restaurants. So if you see me in Atlanta, please say hi because I love meeting other AT aliens.
Don't make the mistake I did and not say hi at the Fabulous Fox. Well, I'll be in the audience. I'm paying for my ticket.
All right.
My plus one will be one of your mom's bridge friends.
Perfect. Yes.
My wife is going to stay home. I'll take the bridge ladies. Heather, so great to see you. Continued success, my friend.
Thank you so much.
All right, big weekend for comedy fans. So this is what I suggest you do. George Wallace, who we had live in studio in the 9 o'clock hour, he is at the Helium Comedy Club Friday and Saturday up in Alpharetta. And Heather is at the Fox on Saturday. So go see George Friday at the Helium Comedy Club. And then on Saturday, go to the Fabulous Fox Theater and see Heather McMahon. It's so funny, Deborah, because I went to see that Larry David show, and she was sitting next to me, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just that type. I don't want to bother anyone.
I get it. I wouldn't do that either.
Unless if it was, I don't know. If it was Neil Diamond, I might have said something.
That's different.
If it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, I'm going to, break the fifth wall and say, hey, Neil, can I get a selfie? But I didn't bother Heather McMahon. That being said, not that I'm Heather's level or Neil Diamond's level. If you ever see me out and about, please come up and say hi. I will not. I could be mid-bite at the Chinese buffet with Longoria. It doesn't matter. Just come up and say hi. I love meeting folks out and about. When we come back from a quick break, we got some new numbers, the Consumer Price Index. How much more or less are we paying for consumer goods now than we were a year ago? Interesting numbers. We'll tell you them next after we check traffic, the triumphant return to the 24-hour traffic center. Welcome back, Alex Williams.
I appreciate it, Mark. Right now, watching a little slow traffic out on the West Freeway, 20 eastbound on and off the brakes, heading in toward downtown in West Atlanta from Riverside Parkway over to that west side perimeter. Hero held all lanes briefly, cleared some debris. 285 southbound, the outer loop, Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Over into Cobb County, you got that right lane construction on the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp between 285 and Wesley Chapel, causing some 285 east and northbound delays, mostly in those right lanes as you leave Flat Shoals. Traffic brought to you by Georgia Commute Options. With Georgia Commute Options, you can get more out of every mile, earn prizes, gift cards, and other cool deals when you switch from driving alone to a cleaner trip. More at mygco.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
I know we just started spring, but already Maya and I have turned on the AC in our house a couple of times. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. We are going to use our AC a lot this summer. I'm sure you will as well. Great new deal from my friends at Reliable. Check this out, folks. Get any size air conditioning, any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Zero down payment, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. Yes, any size AC, just $69.99 a month, zero down, low monthly payments. Don't go into another sweltering summer with your old AC unit. Get a new one from my friends at Reliable. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com and click on the Schedule Service button, or call or text 770-594-9969, 770-594-9969.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head-scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
For over 8 years now, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain, with over 50,000 satisfied patients. People with knee and back pain now living pain-free, shoulder and hip pain gone. Hey, it's Mark Arum. What they're doing is nothing short of remarkable. They're using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissues in your achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing that old tissue. Best part, with QC Kinetics, no drugs, no surgery, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural, cellular-level option with lasting relief. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatments that can help you live your best life, truly your best pain-free life. Call 770-285-8026, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early, while it's still a simple repair, and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. 'Cause if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Burning fire, you're getting to be my...
All Stevie Wonder Day on the Mark Arum Show. The legend turned 75 years old, and apparently he's a pew partner of comedian George Wallace when he's out going to church in L.A. Going to talk Medicaid cuts in just a second, but we got some new numbers for the economy, consumer price index numbers. Americans paying about 2 to 3% more for just about everything than they were a year ago. ABC's Jim Ryan says that a slightly slower rise in the consumer price index that economists were expecting.
Overall food prices fell last month by a fraction, but some grocery items saw a dramatic decline. The cost of a dozen eggs, for example, fell more than 10% as the effect of avian flu eased. Still, egg prices are almost 50% higher than in April of last year.
All right, so they're still higher, but they're coming down. Eggs especially. All right, pop quiz for the Mark Arum Show crew. Is Vinny back there? I can't see the little guy. All right, what is the most eaten protein in the world? So the most eaten food in the world is rice. Rice is the number one eaten food. But Deborah, I'll start with you. What is the most eaten protein on the globe? Yes. It's an animal protein. I'll give it you. It's not,
Okay.
Like tofu or anything like that.
Okay. Just from myself, I'm going to say chicken.
Chicken. Longoria, most eaten protein in the world.
I would have to say beef.
Beef. Vinny Goombats. Vinny Bag of Donuts. Vinny Drip. Most eaten protein in the world.
I'm going with Deborah. I'm going chicken.
Chicken. That was my guess. It's third.
Really?
Yes. Or maybe second. I know it's not first.
What's first?
Pork.
What?
Yeah.
I was this close to saying that, but I didn't think it was going to be it.
Other white meat?
I thought it would be chicken by far.
Yeah.
It's chicken. It's pork, and then chicken and beef. I forgot. But I also thought seafood might have been up there, right? You think of all the seafood that people eat, but no, I guess there's so many landlocked folks that don't get an opportunity to eat seafood.
Aren't there places in the world that don't eat pork at all?
Yeah,
and only eat beef.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I thought beef would be it.
Yeah, you can fact check me during the break,
Wow.
Vinny. Fact check me, but it's pork. I was surprised. I've got a hot food pork take when we come back, and Deborah's got an update on Medicaid, and we're going to go back to Saudi Arabia. President Trump on a 4-day journey in the Mideast. So much more to come. It's the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB.
My love to you. When I hear you on the phone, your sweet sexy voice turns my hair all the way on.
Hi,
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. But today, instead of giving you a home remodeling tip, my tip is don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. At exovations.com, you'll find hundreds of real stories from real homeowners who have trusted us with their exterior remodeling projects. From decks, siding, windows, doors, paint, roofing, porticos, and so much more. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. That's not just what we say, it's what our customers say. So yes, I'm Candace from Exovations, but don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. At Exovations, we do projects on time, on budget, and without all that stress. Google Exovations or visit EXOVATIONS.com.
They say in life, timing is everything, right? Especially if you've been trying to time the up and down markets. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. If you want your hair back, friends, now is the time, and Advanced Hair is the place. Timing couldn't be better. An amazing offer right now from my friends at Advanced Hair. Schedule now at 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com, and if you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. The timing couldn't be better to take care of your receding hairline or your bald spots. And at Advanced Hair, it's not a pill or a lotion subscription that helps you retain what you have. Instead, Advanced Hair offers the proven guaranteed solution that regrows your hair where it's currently gone. And it's a quick, simple one-day treatment. Your real hair begins to regrow the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. So get that appointment now at advancedhair.com, and if you move forward, you'll get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. Your own natural hair guaranteed to grow, advancedhair.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. emoryhealthcare.org/Winship.
With Orchard, you can buy your new home before selling the old one and get paid twice. Cash up front now, more cash when it sells. Get started at Orchard.com. Get paid twice. Orchard.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. This just in: DeKalb County Police searching for two missing girls right now. They were last seen in the 2000 block of Hairston Road around 11 o'clock last night. Blaine Clark is with DeKalb Police.
12-year-old Haley is 5'2", 130 pounds, last seen wearing a black tank top and pink Hello Kitty pants. 13-year-old Taylor is 5'2", 152 pounds, last seen wearing a black shirt and black tights.
And police asking anybody with information on their whereabouts to please call DeKalb County Police. Your weather for today: a mix of clouds and sun, pop-up showers possible this afternoon with a high of 75, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. This is also new here at 11:30. A man accused of trying to kidnap a girl waiting for a school bus in Cobb County is under arrest. Police say 39-year-old Cerrone Kennedy of Mableton tried to take the 12-year-old girl on Riverside Parkway. The girl told her school counselor what happened, and she was able to give police a detailed description of the suspect. Kennedy's charged now with attempted kidnapping. To Lithonia, police there investigating a shooting at a gas station on Hillendale Drive. A 17-year-old dead, an 18-year-old being treated at a hospital. Police searching for the shooter. They're looking through surveillance video right now to help identify the person that they're looking for. No names on the two teens who were shot have been released just yet. There's a new artificial intelligence tool that uses Instagram Reels to help you build a travel itinerary. Expedia Trip Matching will give you trip ideas and tips to plan your next vacation. Melanie Fish is with Expedia.
Millennials are telling us that 80% of them are relying on social media for their travel information and their places to book. And so we want to meet them where they are.
And she says that the tool can suggest a destination, dates to travel, hotel rooms, and cost. Microsoft cutting 3% of its workforce. That news this morning. The maker of Windows and Word saying that the layoffs will impact employees across all levels of the company. Microsoft has about 228,000 workers. That was as of late June. And Goldman Sachs is lowering its odds if the U.S. economy will enter a recession. The bank now forecasting a 35% chance, down from 45%. The cut comes after the U.S. and China agreed to reduce tariffs amidst ongoing trade negotiations. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 149 at 42,260. NASDAQ is currently up more than 1.5%, and the S&P's up almost a full percent. It's 11:33. That means it's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams has a look at your roads on this Tuesday morning.
I've seen a few brake lights over on that west side inner loop, 285 northbound, leaving Bolton Road up towards South Atlanta Road. Haven't seen any crashes in the way. One might have just cleared as all lanes are moving, just a little slow there. Also just cleared up a crash in DeKalb County inside the perimeter on Lawrenceville Highway, Highway 29, right at McClendon Drive. They just pulled away, so all lanes are back open there. And also don't forget in DeKalb, you got that right lane construction on the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp between I-285 and Wesley Chapel Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Sunny skies today, though pop-up showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon and evening hours. High 75, lows tonight in the low 60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a few hit-or-miss rain showers. High 81, drying out on Thursday and heating up. Daytime high 87.
71 degrees in Duluth and Cartersville. Brookhaven has 72 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
We have become an idiotic nation that doesn't know how to even debate anything, so it doesn't surprise
Eric
me.
Von Hessler has an opinion.
You will still age.
And some advice.
Start doing things when you're younger. Drink a lot of water.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
And you will still die.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Your father, incredible guy, really a friend of mine.
That's President Trump in Saudi Arabia. When we come back, we'll go back to Riyadh, get the latest on the president's Mideast tour. Plus, Deborah has tickets to give away to see Keith Urban. All that next on The Mark Arum Show.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Now is the season to have AquaGuard Foundation Solutions save your crawl space from the bad things down there and make the air you breathe in your home healthier with a crawl space encapsulation. Simply set up a free inspection at aquaguard.net. Remember, AquaGuard.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2, ox, camel, and a kangaroo.
Coming up in exactly 30 minutes, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000. Just a couple minutes, we're going to go back to Riyadh. ABC News' Karen Travers traveling with the president in his Mideast tour. And I've got a hot food take. I'm going to get fact-checked by Vinny. But first, we have some tickets to give away, Deborah. What do we have today, my friend?
How about tickets to see Keith Urban at Ameris Bank Amphitheater on May 23rd? 10
days away. Keith Urban, Ameris Bank. That's a fantastic prize pack. We're going to make you earn it. 22nd caller to 404-872-0750. 22nd caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Keith Urban, Ameris Bank Amphitheater, May 23rd, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and WSB. Vinny, before you start screening the calls, though, before the break, I made the bold statement that pork is the number one protein eaten worldwide. I asked you to fact check me. Am I right or wrong, my friend?
Unfortunately, you are right.
Yes. What was number 2 and 3? That was what I'd forgotten. Do you know?
It is chicken and beef. Pork is at 36%. Chicken's right there at 33%, and beef is at 24%.
All right, there you go.
It's because of China, man.
Look at Vinny starting a new trade war. It's because of China, man. Anyway, here, breaking news. I've got 2 hot food takes, and it's hot food, yes, but they're just the best ribs on the planet, and I'm going to get scoffed by the barbecue connoisseurs out there, are barbecue spare ribs at a Chinese restaurant. Those are the best ribs on the planet. That's hot food take number 1. I love ribs. Fat Max Rib Shack. Fat Matt's right on the corner, has amazing ribs. Best ribs on the planet, barbecue spare ribs at Chinese restaurants. They're number 1. Here's my second hot food take. The hash browns at IHOP are elite. Have you had the hash browns at IHOP before? No?
Talking to me? Yes,
Yeah.
I have. Yeah,
They're elite, right?
They're good. They're good.
Like,
They're
you go
good
for the
hash browns.
pancakes. I went the other day to the IHOP on La Vista Road. Shout out to them. I wanted breakfast for dinner. And I got a scrambler, a short stack of flapjacks, and the hash browns. The hash browns were, and this could have been a one-off that just the one at La Vista makes. They were so good. So there we go. 2 hot takes, food takes.
Okay.
Barbecue spare ribs from Chinese restaurants are the best in the world, and the hash browns at IHOP are elite. I'll stand by those. You can, if you disagree with me, I'm on Twitter, X, at Mark Arum. You can fight me over it. I will stand by those takes. All right, let's get back over to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, covering the president's journey. Karen Travers from ABC News. Karen, President Trump yesterday embarked on a 4-day tour of the Middle East. What does his agenda look like?
The president is really focused on strengthening economic ties between the United States and these Gulf nations. The president has already touted the investment pledge that Saudi Arabia has made, $600 billion in the United States over the next 4 years. And as he has done before, has joked about how that should be actually $1 trillion, pushing the Crown Prince to up that total. We don't know details, though, of what that will look like. And I think that's something that maybe we'll get on this trip, a little bit more further commitment of what the Saudis will actually do with that money. UAE, similar thing, committed to invest $1.4 trillion over the next decade. This is what the president wants to hear. This is not about, security or diplomatic takeaways from this trip like other presidents might do on a first foreign trip in their term. This is about trying to show that the United States is open for business and trying to strengthen economic cooperation with these wealthy countries.
First stop was Riyadh. How was the president received there?
A very lavish welcome by the Saudis. Air Force One was escorted into the airport by Saudi military fighter jets. He had a 21-gun salute as he walked down the steps of the plane, and the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, was there to greet him on a not red but lavender carpet. They've already had lunch. They had a coffee ceremony earlier, and he's going to have a big state dinner thrown for him tonight by the Crown Prince. So that it's also, again, you look at what the events are. The president had a lunch today with business leaders from the region. Then he's going to give remarks focused on U.S.-Saudi economic investment and cooperation. Really, really such an emphasis on the economic ties.
Karen Travers from ABC joining us in Riyadh here on the Mark Arum Show. Other stops on the trip include Qatar and the UAE. Speaking of Qatar, has the president made any comments in the last 24 hours about the possibility of Qatar gifting him a plane?
He did yesterday in the White House before he left, and he very, very forcefully defended his decision, his plan to accept that. He said he would never be one to turn down that kind of offer. He said I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But he really insisted this was fine. It wasn't a gift to him. It was a gift to the Department of Defense. There is some pushback. Of course, Democrats are really raising the alarm that this violates the Constitution's ban on gifts from foreign heads of state and that there are security concerns about it. But there are even some Republicans who said, there could be security issues. And as one senator said, they better sweep that plane from front to back.
No doubt. The big headline in the region yesterday was the release of Idan Alexander, American prisoner held by Hamas. There were thoughts that the president might be able to meet Idan. Do you know if that is going to be able to be fit into the schedule?
He is not going to in person. They have said that he will not be traveling to meet the president. He's obviously has just gone through such a terrible ordeal, but the president was able to speak to him by phone, coordinated through his envoy, Steve Witkoff.
So I got to ask, Karen, you made this transatlantic flight on Air Force One. First off, direct flight, I'm assuming, from D.C. to Saudi Arabia?
No, we went through Germany. So we went through Frankfurt first. So it's quite a long trip to get here. But we got here and hit the ground running as soon as we arrived.
What's it like as a journalist on Air Force One? I've been told there is no Wi-Fi availability for journalists.
Yeah. Oh, I should note, I wasn't on Air Force One to get here. That was my colleagues from NPR drew that straw for their duty for pool. I flew commercial here through Germany. Air Force One stopped in the UK for a refueling stop because Air Force One can't make the whole trip here. But yes, there is no Wi-Fi on Air Force One. So in some ways, it's kind of delightful because you can just check out for a bit. In other ways, it's incredibly stressful because you don't know what you're landing to. And you cannot let your guard down because you never know when the president's going to come back and chat.
No doubt. Well, at least you get Sky Miles for, if you flew commercial. So there's a benefit.
That's true. There we go. That's good. Not on Air Force One, unfortunately.
Excellent. Karen, as always, thanks for your time. Have a safe trip.
Thanks. Have a great day.
In the meantime, President Trump now speaking at an investment forum in Saudi Arabia. Let's listen in.
7 swing states, the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. The Electoral College, we won by 312 to 226. Remember, they said, well, we could get to 270. We got to 312.
All right, President Trump talking about his big victory at the investment forum in Saudi Arabia. Again, 4-day trip for President Trump. We will update his journeys throughout the day. I have a question, Deborah. Karen Travers mentioned that Air Force One had to stop in the UK to refuel before heading to Riyadh. How does that work? Do they let the airport know in advance, be like, hey, this is Air Force One. We're taking off from D.C. We're going to land to refuel. And who pays the tab on that? Is there like a Sunoco card that the pilot of Air Force One has? Like, hey, fill her up.
They're not going to like a big airport either, are they? They have a private place they can go. Like they use maybe like the King's Airfield or something.
Well, it's got to be big enough for a 747.
Isn't there military bases anywhere around there?
Well, yeah, I'm sure there are. Just
I don't know. I want to know how that works. Like, hey, fill her up. Who's paying? I don't care.
Your Peach Pass works there?
Your Peach Pass works there. Interesting. So we'll monitor the president's journey in the Mideast. I do want to update the Medicaid cut story. It looks like Republicans have come up with a solution and will be cutting Medicaid, Deborah. What are the details that we know right now?
Yeah, cuts are coming, about $880 billion to cover some other costs. Now, Republicans are saying this is all coming from waste spending, fraud, abuse, and everything, so it won't affect things too much. But Democrats are coming forward saying, no, a lot of vulnerable Americans are going to lose coverage. So going forward, what they want it to be, nothing has necessarily passed yet, but going forward to be eligible for Medicaid, you would have these new community engagement requirements, and that means working at least 80 hours per week of work, education, or service. For
80 hours a week?
Oh, 80 hours a month. I'm
sorry.
80 hours a month. Yeah, not a week. Yeah.
That's crazy.
80 hours a month for able-bodied adults without dependents. So that's the big change to it.
All right. So I wish, there's going to be a point when I need to know about Medicaid and Medicare. I don't know anything about it.
You probably won't need Medicaid, will you?
I don't know. I
think, Medicare you'll get, but I don't know that you'll need Medicaid.
All right. Well, knock on wood. You never know. You never know with
That's
my
true.
lifestyle. And now I'm wearing readers. I'm Asian.
You're not wearing readers.
I'm wearing very feminine readers now. You never know what's going to happen. All right. So $880 billion in cuts. That's a big thing. I'll become more versed on Medicaid. I don't, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, yeah, I know. No, I don't know. It's not in my wheelhouse. It's not been on my radar. So Medicare is after you retire.
Right.
Medicaid is if you
Income
based.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So I could have been on Medicaid in 1997 when I was making $8 an hour.
Yeah, Vinny could be on Medicaid.
He's still under his family's plan. All right, speaking of Medicaid, I guess I would imagine former President Biden is on Medicare now, right? And he's not on Medicaid. Well, he's unemployed. He's not working 80 hours a month or whatever. This is fascinating. So apparently there's a new book coming out on President Biden. This just popped. The vitality and gait of former President Joe Biden are the subjects of a new book by two reporters who say Biden advisors covered up the truth about his deterioration. ABC News correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more from Washington.
Quoting from the forthcoming book by CNN's Jake Tapper and Axios' Alex Thompson, Axios reports that Biden's advisors spoke privately as early as 2023 about his halting walk. The aides were said to have discussed the possibility that the president would need to use a wheelchair in his second term if he were reelected. And Biden's doctor, Kevin O'Connor, reportedly warned that if the president had another bad fall, a difficult recovery might necessitate a wheelchair.
Wow. That's crazy that his advisors are like, if you get reelected, you're going to have to be in a wheelchair. That's crazy. So Jake Tapper has that book coming out. That's going to be an interesting read.
About his gait?
Just, about his, old man walk, I guess.
Somebody could do that about Shelley.
Oh, listen.
The
gout walk?
Coffee book?
Yeah, not the gout walk, the gait walk. Anyway, that's very interesting. Can you imagine if Biden had run for re-election and then got reelected and he spent his second term in a wheelchair? And it's not like FDR, right? He's in a wheelchair because of polio. Wow. All right. That's going to be an interesting book. How big was the cover-up on Biden's health issues? All right. Congrats to Stephen Ackworth. He won a pair of tickets to see Keith Urban at Marist Bank Amphitheater May 23rd, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show on WSB. Don't forget, giving you another keyword in the 5K Day bonus blitz right after the new news. But at 11:49 on this gorgeous Tuesday morning, how's the drive around town, Alex Williams?
Checking on new trouble here in DeKalb County. It's getting very slow. I-20 westbound, approaching 285, exit 67. Delays almost back toward Panola Road. We're going to scan the jam cam, see what is holding up that ride. If you're traveling on the other side, coming off of I-285, taking 20 eastbound, you got that right lane construction on that collector distributor ramp coming from 285 to I-20 eastbound. That's got 285 slow back toward Flat Shoals. And elsewhere, 85 southbound, seeing some brake lights in Duluth, leaving Highway 316 down toward Pleasant Hill Road. Some merging madness there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
After suspect refuses to exit home on Summer Chase Drive.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Looks to be a tanker truck crashed into the median on the jam cam.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The major culprits squeezing household budgets for auto insurance, gasoline, and utilities.
Your 24/7 news source. Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
You know your old roof doesn't really care for this recent rain. Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Your roof is your front line of defense to stop water from getting inside. Not sure about your roof? Think of Findlay first. FindlayRoofing.com.
Roof. This is Scott Slade. Nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. Like me. My doctor saw one lab work number that led to a diagnosis early enough, so I still had options. Now, that's where virtual imaging comes in. They've got the best CT imaging in the Southeast with 98% accuracy and low radiation. Virtual imaging's LD CT whole body scan can be invaluable, giving you time and options for early treatment. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. For a limited time, Virtual Imaging is offering their LDCT body scan for only $995 per scan. That's a $2,495 value. Now, appointments must be scheduled in May. There are a limited number of scans available at this price, so a few minimum requirements may apply. Don't put this off. I've done it. Call 404-678-SCAN. That's 404-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Say goodbye to the stress that comes with showings, open houses, and costly home repairs. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate will sell your home fast and for maximum value. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home home for top dollar. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
That's your garage door. Almost broken, but technically not broken yet. And you know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So you don't fix it, 'cause it ain't broke. And it gets worse. Until one day, 2 a.m., raining alligators, carload full of dry cleaning, you push the button, and out of nowhere, guess what's broke? Your garage door. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A garage door that's almost broken can actually do more damage than one that's fully broke. Jammed up parts put an extra strain on the motor, rollers out of whack stress the tracks and the belts. Fix it early while it's still a simple repair and before your car gets locked out or locked in. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come over and make it right. Because if it's almost broke, you fix it.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, they just don't sell cars. They set the standard of amazing. Enjoy personalized service, a Starbucks cafe, and airport parking concierge because you deserve more than just a car. Visit ButlerLexusSouthAtlanta.com or call 800-NEW-LEXUS today because they value you.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Jason Hansen, former CIA officer here with an urgent warning. The 2025 tariffs are a matter of national security, and retaliation can become an extreme national threat. Every American with a 401k, IRA, or retirement account should act now before it's too late. I urge everyone to protect and secure their hard-earned money with physical gold and silver before we see massive retaliations from China and an extreme market of volatility. I only trust Advantage Gold with my money. They're the #1 precious metals company in America, and they can help you secure retirement with physical gold and silver. To get started, just call 800-324-9902 and request their free gold investment guide and learn how you can own physical gold and silver, tax-free and penalty-free. But don't wait. This threat is real. Call 800-324-9902. Now again, that's 800-324-9902. Call right now and get your free gold investment guide today or visit AdvantageGold.com. Past performance may vary. Always consult with a tax and financial professional.
No, that's not me playing the piano, but that is the famous theme song for the television show The Office. Been off the air for a while. Deborah, I didn't know that a spin-off was in the works for Office. What can you tell me?
Yeah, Office fans, here comes your spinoff finally. It's going to be called The Paper, and it will premiere this September on Peacock. So it's going to be like The Office, where it does that documentary crew interviewing people, but this one's going to follow the newsroom of a Toledo newspaper called The Truth Teller. And so far, the only person from the original Office or the American Office is going to be Oscar. He's coming back for this one. No news of any other cameos yet, though.
I've worked in many newspaper newsrooms. I will be watching that. Watch the movie The Paper, by the way, with Michael Keaton. That was a really good movie. All right, finally, we talked about the McDonald's ice cream machines. How you eat an ice cream cone tells a lot about your personality, apparently.
Yeah, a behavior psychologist and an ice cream company did a study and then basically said there's 2 ways that you can eat an ice cream cone. You either lick it or you bite it. Now, if you bite the ice cream, which is weird, you're probably fearless, confident, impulsive, in the moment, an extrovert, and want that instant gratification, which is why you would dive in. You may even have a big family where it was hard to get food, so you had to get into it quickly. So if you're someone that prefers to lick their ice cream. You are more methodical, you're relaxed, you are patient, and you are craving the reward that you get from the slow process of eating.
My dad, I think, eats his ice cream like teeth first instead of licking
Really?
it.
Doesn't that hurt your teeth?
But I think he grew up food insecure, so I think that's why that he attacks the ice cream cone like that. Shout out to Dad if you're listening.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, I got this fact given to me this morning by a fact fairy. Before modern refrigerators, Russia and Finnish people would keep live brown frogs in their milk to keep it fresh. Scientists later discovered that the skin of these frogs secrete antimicrobial peptides, natural antibiotics that kill bacteria, and slow spoilage, helping the milk stay safe to drink longer.
Lest you doubt, we are not living in the best times ever. Think about that people used to put live frogs in their milk to kill the bacteria. Can you imagine, like, scooping out milk and trying to avoid the frogs in the milk? How do you keep them from jumping out? Crazy. Great
That's
fact.
a good one.
Great fact of the day, Longoria.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram star of the show?
Man, we got a lot of them today. How about comedian George Wallace in studio? He's at Helium in Alpharetta Friday and Saturday. Comedian Heather McMahon's at the Fox this Saturday. She gets a star of the show. Correspondent John Decker from the White House. Matthew Boyle from Bloomberg News. Karen Travers. We got to get that map of all our guests. She joined us from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. First ever guest we've had from Riyadh. Peter Haralambu, Steve Dorsey, Ashley Frasca talked about composting, not the human version, the other version. Tomorrow on the show, political analyst Stephen Lawson, actor Stephen Fry, and of course we'll bite headfirst into the top local stories, like you in an ice cream cone. Social media is active, at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
So I've been talking for a while about how Sam's Club is now getting it together step by step. You're going to see Sam's Club step up its game location by location because they are renovating every location in the country. But I love how Sam's Club is stepping it up because warehouse clubs are so key to you saving money, and Costco shouldn't have all the fun. Having more choice, better for your and my wallet.
Attention seniors, do you want more personalized healthcare with more one-on-one time with your doctor? Then join us at the grand opening of CenterWell Swanee. CenterWell offers senior-focused primary care that's centered on you. Celebrate with us on Wednesday, May 14th, near the Walmart off Interstate 85 here in Swanee from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy food, music, and more at this free community event. Plus, tour the new doctor's